Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the Small Brain Podcast. Today, we have a very special guest. It's our Mormon friend, Jake, or ex-Mormon.
Former Mormon.
Former Mormon.
Yes.
And we're going to get all into it. He used to live in Japan, and he did his mission in Japan, right?
Yes.
For 2 years?
2 years, 2011 to 2013.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So we have a fellow Japanophile, lover of Jesus Christ, Jake. Welcome, Jake, everybody.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So I just want to start, like, how would you describe Mormonism? What is it?
Oh, well.
If that's too big, you can...
I mean, there are lots of ways to describe it. I can kind of describe it from, like, my perspective and how I was raised. I was raised in it. So why don't we start there? I'll answer it in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
So I was basically born a Mormon, if you could say that. I was baptized when I was 8. That's like when Mormons, that's the earliest they can get baptized. My parents were Mormon. My grandparents are Mormon. My siblings were. Not all. Some of them aren't anymore, but like growing up, that's what we did. We went to church on Sunday for 3 hours. We did Tuesdays. There's like activities with your congregation. Like I lived and breathed the thing for like till I was 27. So,
whoa.
Yeah. I'm 32 now.
So it's pretty recently that you...
Yeah. It feels like a long time ago because I've done quite a bit to kind of distance myself from that. But yeah, like I was all in, like, for a very long time.
Yeah, like your formative years, puberty, like...
The whole thing, yeah. Growing up, not all my friends were Mormons, but like most of them were because that's just who you spend a lot of time with. Lived in Utah for a while. Obviously, there are Mormons everywhere, but so that's not the only place. But like, did that. I went.
Why were you in Utah?
So that's just where my dad was working, just his job. So.
Oh, like when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, yeah.
Oh, okay. Did he work in the church or anything, or?
No. I have a lot of, like, my grandma lives out there, aunts and uncles, cousins. So like, and I don't know. Like, it feels like for a lot of Mormons, there's lots of reasons to go out there because, like, you have a lot of family there. It's a nice place to live. You can be close to family. So a lot of Mormons kind of end up there, even if they didn't start out there, you know? I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, I should say, too. Like,
so how... No, you go.
Not only was I, like, born in it, raised, all that, I went to BYU. That was my undergrad. I graduated from BYU.
I didn't know that.
I got married. I was married in the Mormon temple to a Mormon at one point. Not anymore. I've married someone else. Much better situation. She's not Mormon. That's not what. Well, there's nothing wrong with marrying a Mormon. I'm not trying to be mean, but
right. It's just a better situation for you.
Much better situation. Yeah. But all that is to say, like, I was like all in. I did the whole 9 yards, everything. So.
Wow. Did you get married young? Were you like 18 or?
Oh, Lord. No, I was 22.
Still pretty young, though.
Super
honestly.
young, yeah. Way too young. Like, and that's partly why it didn't work out. I'm not going to blame Mormonism for why, like, that didn't pan out. But, like, definitely pretty young. Didn't have a great sense of myself, like, going into it, you know. And
how could you? I mean, 22 years old. I was retarded when I was 22. Like...
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I
mean, we don't have to get all into it.
No. I'm fine.
Scarred from the...
A little scarred, but doing better. It's important to kind of list my credentials, if you want to call it that, because it's like when people talk about being Mormon or like share experiences, there's definitely all these like kind of check boxes of like, what kind of Mormon were you? So I listed a bunch of the main ones, like born and raised, went to BYU, family was all Mormon, so like the generational thing, married in the Mormon temple, served a Mormon mission, you know, all that kind of stuff. Served a mission in like a cool place.
Yeah.
It doesn't strictly matter, but like being able to say like, oh, I went to Japan, like, yeah, that's one that just feels cool. But like,
you can't really get any better than that. That's like the lottery, hitting the jackpot.
Oh, definitely. Like, it was, and we can talk about that more, of course. Japan was awesome.
You could have been in Belize, bro, or like the favelas in Brazil, like
Or Idaho.
even worse than the favelas.
or some people do their missions in Utah, which is wild.
That sucks.
But apparently, and to their credit, I hear it's actually really fun in some ways because you're just like, I don't know. Or maybe it's just different because you're just surrounded by lots of other Mormons. You know, like you, in some ways, I think that'd be hard. In other ways, like Japan's hard because you're surrounded by people that just think you're really, really weird. You're like a weird foreigner. You've come to their country to like get them to join your kind of strange little fringe thing to them, you know, and they're just, and Japanese people can be brutal if they don't want to like talk to you.
Well, plus you're already in a bizarre position as a white guy there. You already stand out, and then you're wearing this like outfit and you're on their bikes and you're talking about Jesus, and it's like, it doesn't seem like a very receptive audience, even though they're polite, but
they're, oh man.
Yeah, we can get into that later. But so when I spent time in Utah, I did this road trip across America, and I was in southern Utah. I was like near Zion National Park.
Nice.
And this Mormon family picked me up. Like I wasn't even hitchhiking. They just pulled over and were like, "Do you need a ride?" And I was like, "Actually, I do need a ride."
Yeah.
And what ended up happening, long story short, as I went to their like compound on the top of this mountain, they had this like all this private land. It was like fenced off, private lake. ATVs, like razors, side-by-sides, like nice log cabin, like them and their cousins lived on this property, and it was like they were very well off.
Yeah.
And they let me stay with them all weekend. This was during COVID, like when no one was talking to each other. They let me stay all weekend. I didn't have any money. I didn't give them anything. They cooked all the meals for me, like, because they don't drink, so we had like a lot of like sugary pancakes and like Nutella and Biscoff cookies and like hot chocolate and stuff.
But they were super nice.
They were so sweet, and they let me stay all weekend. They drove me back to my place. I was like sleeping in a tent at the time, like kind of vagabonding, if you will. And they gave me a place to stay. They gave me hot water, fresh food, like fun memories. And at the end of the weekend, they gave me a Book of Mormon. And they signed it. Every member of the family, they all signed it and wrote their email addresses and phone numbers. And I was like, that is so heartwarming and sweet. But then I got to thinking, I was like, wait, is this like some kind of recruitment tactic? Like, am I being like played a little bit? And then I opened the first page like with an open mind. I was like, let's see what this is about. And the first like 3 pages, I mean, no offense or anything, but I was like, this is nutty, bro. Like, they think this guy like read these tablets and then like someone took the tablets from him, and then he's like, oh, well, God's going to give me a new thing now to say. And it was like, it just like, God, I've read the Bible. I grew up Christian, and the Bible feels legitimate in some way. But like, honestly, man, like the first 3 pages, I was like, this is,
it's like Bible fan fiction kind of thing.
Yeah. So like, what even is Mormonism? Like, how did it even?
I love your experience because you touch on like all like the best and kind of worst things about it. Like, let's start with the best things. Like, they let you come to their house. They were super nice to you. Like, Mormons are like genuinely some of the nicest people you'll run into, and it's a really genuine thing. Like, and I'll say this to plenty of people. Like, one of my favorite things and one thing I miss about it the most is that community aspect.
Can you hold the mic a little closer to your mouth?
Yeah,
that's good.
The community aspect is awesome. Like, you can be anywhere in the world. You can be in Japan. You can be in, southern Utah. There are many other places, but like, they will, if you need help, they will help you. If you're a Mormon as well, they're like, oh, like, well, we're friends instantly. Like, you have this instant community no matter where you go. And it is a really genuine thing, and it's really cool. It's really hard to find that kind of thing kind of outside religion, but even like, I feel like the Mormon brand of it is pretty special.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I like hearing you talk about it. I'm like, oh, that's a really good experience. I'm really happy for you there. Then there's them giving you the Book of Mormon side of it. And you're like, oh, is this all just a ruse? No, I would say probably not. Like, Mormons, even if you're not a missionary, they're really encouraged, like, oh, like, share your religion. Because to them, they're like, this is the best thing ever. I want other people to have it as well.
And it looks like the best thing ever from the outside. They're like all happy, like an intact household, like happy kids. active lifestyle, like.
Oh yeah, like you found some really cool Mormons too. Not all of them have ATVs. We didn't. We weren't ATV Mormons.
Doing your mission on dirt bikes.
That would have been gnarly.
Yeah.
But so them like, and actually I would say them like, all signing the Book of Mormon, sharing it, like to me that's like a very nice, maybe like more docile way to do it, because they're like, hey, no pressure. I imagine like, here's this book.
Yeah.
Read it if you want. Like that to me, like that's kind of one of the better versions of Mormonism that you see, where they're sharing it, they're not pushy, and they're just really friendly and nice.
Yeah, and it was like an afterthought. It wasn't like...
Yeah, so you weren't like, oh, did they only do this so they could, get me? And it's like, well, no, like that's really who they are, and they want to share. They want to share what they say, what they think makes them so happy.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I forgot to mention I went to Mormon church with them.
Oh,
but it
even
was
better.
It was COVID church though, so it was like from home.
So it was like Zoom church pretty much, right?
But the dad was the pastor or whatever, like the speaker of the church or something like that.
So that, I believe you would have been talking to the bishop then, or you would have been.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
So the bishop is like the leader of a congregation. A congregation's called a ward. Mm-hmm. So a bishop is in charge of a ward. So you saw the bishop and his family. So that's usually, if someone's a bishop, they're usually one of the more upstanding, like, I don't want to be mean. I don't really know how to put this, but like they tend to be the better Mormons, if you want to think about it like that. Like, so you found a good one is what I'm saying.
Well, they found me, man. They picked me up on the side of the road. They found you. Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing weekend, and it was hard for me to like compartmentalize it, because like I cracked open the Book of Mormon and I like wanted to give it like a fair shake. I was like, well, they're really happy. Let's see what it's about. And then I was just like, but this seems like a fever dream of. Mm-hmm. It feels like sci-fi or like fantasy or something. It didn't feel like a legitimate like religious text to me as an outsider. Like just cracking open the first couple pages, And I know you guys have like the New and Old Testament. Yeah. And the Book of Mormon is like an additional book, right? Yeah.
So Mormons, they recognize the Bible as canon. So like I read the Bible growing up and the Book of Mormon. To Mormons, the Book of Mormon's like an additional thing, and it very much sets them apart. Like it's a pretty special, it definitely makes them unique.
Yeah.
And obviously, as a missionary, you're teaching people about the Book of Mormon. I read it a ton. I haven't read it in a while. I've had my fill of it. But thinking back, like there are lots of, if you're really bought in, like it's just the best thing ever. It's full of like all this like stuff that's really special, or like it makes you feel good, or it teaches you, I guess what I'm saying is Mormons would credit a lot of all the good things in their lives coming from like the church and from the Book of Mormon. Mm-hmm. So them sharing it with you like that, you can really think of it as like a very kind of vulnerable and like really nice thing to do.
That's the way it felt.
Yeah. But then I love your response, which is like, this is weird. Because to be frank, like it is, like when you really think about it. And that's one thing that's really hard to square, I think, which is like you read it and you're like, this doesn't feel, this is kind of strange. Like I said, this feels like Bible fan fiction.
It's a great way to put it.
And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. But when you're so bought in, or when you're raised in it, or you have all these other things in your life that are encouraging you to like really believe in it, it's really easy to just, and I'm trying to be diplomatic here, because I'm not saying Mormons are naive or blind, but I get the feeling, and well, actually I'll speak from my experience. I never really critically like, I didn't really analyze it. I didn't really think about it all that critically for an extremely long time, because it was just like, oh, there's this book, I feel good, my parents read it, they believe in it, I go to church, we talk about it, like I have all these nice associations with it. But I never stopped and considered like, yeah, this feels like it was written by some guy in the 1800s who was really into the Bible and wanted to kind of start his own religion. Like, if that were me, this is what I would have done, is write this book.
Yeah.
Like I never considered that for now I say embarrassingly, but like an embarrassingly long time, I never really thought about it critically.
Mm.
And once I did, it was hard, at least the way I approached it. It was hard to see it as anything other than a very interesting set of stories written by a very eccentric guy in the 1800s.
So that's what you think it is then. I mean, that's obviously why you left.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about that later. But
Sure, yeah.
So what do they actually believe about, like, what sets it apart from Christianity? They believe like Jesus lived in America and like the Native Americans were the Israelites or something, and then his disciples, it was all in America, yeah?
Basically, I'd say, yes, you're technically correct on a lot of that. I would basically say the main thing about Mormonism is they believe that whatever happened in the Bible, Jesus showed up, like, here's all these teachings. They think like, oh, like, he didn't stop doing that. That's like the model for how it's always supposed to be. And so that's something he continued to do. And because he loves all of God's children, he didn't just do that for the Israelites or just people in that area. He did it for people in the Americas. He did it for people in other places too. And then, so the church as it exists today, with like a prophet, like that's the guy at the top, and like it's all structured the way Jesus would have wanted it. And it's just a continuation of that, essentially. So Mormons, they kind of bristle when, like, they very much view themselves as Christian. I would say they are, maybe not in like the traditional sense, like Nicene Creed type stuff, where they're like, there's the Trinity, and like they believe maybe a slightly different version of it, but they very much believe in Jesus and all that kind of stuff. So
that's a really diplomatic and, like, I don't know, it's interesting to hear your take on it, because for me, obviously I don't have any life experience around it, so I'm just like, well, this is kooky. But you being like, oh, like Jesus just continued to do Jesus stuff later on, that actually makes more sense.
There's...
Oh, can you like talk into the top of the mic?
Into the top?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
It's okay.
I've thought about this a lot, because it's like, you don't do something for 27 years and then stop and you're like, yeah, whatever, It's like, well, why did I think that way? Why was I in it so long? Why is everyone I know, I have great friends that are still Mormons. I have great friends that are no longer Mormons. Some of my siblings are still in, some of them are not. Like, I have the whole gambit of people in my life. And it's like, well, there are some really cool things about it. Not just from, like I talked about, like the culture, or like the community side, like that's cool. But some like the things they believe, and kind of in their kind of simplest, purest form, it's like, oh, that makes sense, or that's kind of beautiful, or like, I like that. And there's still things about it where I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like I like that. I like that for them. But I guess if we want to start down to like what kind of the deconstruction of that, like how that came about, if I'm honest, it was, if I can remember correctly, it all started with, there was some show about Scientology. I can't remember. I should have looked up the name of the show. Basically,
Going Clear.
Going Clear. It might have been Going Clear
on HBO.
But like, they just were breaking down, like, this is what the Scientologists believe, and maybe I should be careful bringing up Scientology. I don't want them to come for you.
No, I don't care.
Okay, good. Okay.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, they don't know where you live, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're in Delhi, India, guys.
Yeah, beautiful. I drove here from Atlanta.
Very clean air in Delhi.
What was this? Oh, I was watching this show about Scientology, and they kind of broke down all the stuff they believe. The short of it is, L. Ron Hubbard was a guy who was really into science fiction and psychology, and he created a religion that was very much based on science fiction and psychology. And so me looking at that, I was like, oh, well, obviously he made it up. Like, you can see you can see how kooky this is. You can see where it all came from. Why would someone believe this? And I still remember the epiphany where I was like, well, isn't that kind of like Mormonism too? Like, or is it so different? And I did what a lot of Mormons do. It's so common that there's a phrase for it. It's like you put that on your shelf. So the idea is like you kind of start accumulating things that like, well, this feels a little weird. I don't know what to do with this thought. So I'm just going to put it on the shelf and not think about it so much because it doesn't really
suppress it.
Kind of suppress, but more like you're just like, I'm just going to put this aside for now because I don't like where this, or I don't really like where this thought process is going. The implications are a little off, but yeah, this makes me feel a little weird. But that was kind of the start for me being like, if I can see that religion over there is so kooky, why don't I view mine as kooky? Especially when there are so many similarities. Mormonism and Scientology are different. I think they're more similar than they are different, but that's,
Do you think Mormonism is a cult?
Oh, man.
I had to ask.
I knew you were going to ask, and so I have a good answer.
You talked with your bishop before you came here.
I know, right? So cult is a really charged word, and there's not really a great definition of it. It's kind of one of those like, well, you know it when you see it kind of things. And I think there's some very kind of classic cults, especially like the Jesus freak, like 80s, a lot of the weird stuff that was happening back then.
Yeah.
I think if you're talking about, like if you did a survey and people were like, how many of you think this was a cult? We're talking like 90% plus of people would be like, yeah, that's a cult.
Yeah.
When you get into Mormonism, I think there are very strong cultish aspects of it, especially when you get in really deep. Like there are certain things where you're like, oh, that feels a little weird. Like I didn't think we were like that kind of thing.
Like what?
As I said, I was like, I'm going to have to give examples.
Whatever you're comfortable talking about. I don't want to.
Yeah. Just like the amount of, this will lead into my answer. I don't talk about Mormonism as a cult. There's definitely culty kind of aspects. I think the best way to describe it, and this is from people much smarter than me, it's what you'd refer to as like a high demand religion.
Oh, I've heard this before, actually. Yeah. They ask a lot of you.
And so I think it's a better way to put it because if you say like someone like, oh, you're in a cult, that definitely puts them on the back foot and kind of a defensive standpoint. It's like, well, I'm not in a cult. It's like, maybe you are, maybe you're not. To be honest, it can be kind of like, it depends on your perspective, But I think most people could agree, even Mormons, practicing Mormons would be like, yeah, this is a pretty high demand thing. Mm-hmm. So like Mormons give 10% of their income. They, go to church. I guess it used to be 3 hours of church. Now it's 2 hours. That was a huge deal when they changed that, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. 3 hours every Sunday. Can you imagine?
Starting at what time?
Depends. Sometimes at 9 a.m., sometimes at 1 p.m.
Yeah, it's a lot of your time.
But then that's like that's not even the half of it because there's the money. Everyone's volunteering. So like the bishop guy that you chatted with, he's not getting paid. It's like a full-time job.
Don't pastors in Christian churches? I think they get paid a salary because it's a nonprofit organization and they're like the CEO or whatever. Like I think there's some loophole where they get paid.
There are some Mormon leadership positions that get a stipend technically, but like that's really high up. Like that's like the top leadership. But they still say no one's paid because technically it's not a salary, but whatever.
Where does the money go? Missionaries and...
Oh, that man... it goes to as a spokesperson. The money goes to missionary, like the missionary program, buildings, temples, like just like general maintenance stuff. To be honest, most of it just goes into investment accounts because they get so much money. Like
I heard the Mormons have a lot of gold. Is that true?
I wish it was just that. They have businesses. I think they're one of the largest landowners in Florida. They own.
What?
I think they own.
That's so random.
They own one of the largest like cattle herds.
Why do the Mormons need cattle? Preparing for the apocalypse?
They own. We'll get to that. They own farms. They own businesses. They own land. They own like skyscrapers. Like when I was living in Chicago, it was in the news. Like, oh yeah, the Mormon Church bought a skyscraper.
For what?
Investments. They have so much money.
How would you feel good giving 10% of your income to like a wealthy, it's like a Saudi prince family or something, like royalty. How would you justify? I mean, I guess, I don't know. This is from my outside perspective. So it's obviously
No.
I'm skeptical, but
and you should be skeptical. The fact of the matter is, and this is kind of the answer to everything with Mormonism, is it's very much just who you are, and you just obey and do what you're told, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, I know there are some exceptions. For the most part, everything you're told to do is framed in a way that's like, oh, this is good for you. And some of it very much is like Mormons don't drink alcohol. I didn't drink until I was like, but after I was like 26, 27, right? Like after I left. I would actually view that as a good thing in general. Like,
yeah.
I know I missed out on some fun like experiences like in college or whatever, but like I'm fine that I didn't get shit faced as an 18-year-old. Like, and it was probably better for me.
Yeah, I mean, alcohol is like one of the most destructive things you can do to your life.
I'm excited for this.
Yes, the Japanese liquor.
Yeah. And I really enjoy alcohol now, but I have a really like what I would say is a pretty good relationship with it, just because it's like, oh yeah, it's something I like. I have it a bit. I never go too far with it, right?
Mm-hmm. We're an adult man now. I mean, when you give like the keys to the kingdom to like dude, I saw the kids in college, 18 years old, fresh out of private school, like sheltered kids, just getting blackout drunk, like
and I don't judge people that do that. I'm not saying like, oh, those idiots, but it's like, you can say objectively, like, yeah, like, especially if you're in Mormonism, you're like, look at all those people doing these crazy things, and look at what you're avoiding by not drinking.
Yeah, it's true.
So, like, there's good things like that, or like, just basic, like, I'm overly simplifying, but be nice, be a good person, be honest, like, all these things that I would say very much, like, you put good into the world and good things come back to you, like there's lots of kind of verifiably like, oh, these are good things to do.
Definitely.
And so then when the church is also like, oh, and God also said, along with don't drink alcohol and be nice, you also need to give 10% of your income to the church. And here's all these Bible verses that talk about tithing, and this is why it's a good thing, and you're sacrificing, and the church doesn't need your money. It's really about showing God how grateful you are and how much you appreciate all the good things you have. So giving the money, so you're not thinking about it like, well, I don't want to put my 10% into their, like, I don't want to buy them a skyscraper. You're not thinking about it like that. You're thinking, this is a part of who I am. This is what I do. This is a good thing that I do. This is how I show I'm grateful. So I give my 10%. That's how I can't speak for all of them, but like, that's how I kind of thought about it, where it's like, yeah, this is just a thing I do.
Yeah. And it's just a simple, like, like act of good deed.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
A good deed type thing.
So I'm not saying Mormons aren't aware that the church is buying skyscrapers. Like, they don't hide it necessarily. I think they try not to emphasize it, because if they did, more people would be like, I need to feed my kids. I don't need to buy you a skyscraper. I think I'm going to feed my kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to like, oh, I could own my house if I put that 10% into something else.
Yeah, 10% is a lot on top of taxes you pay to the feds and the state government. Like, if you're in a certain tax bracket, you're throwing away, or you're giving like 40, 50% of your money away at that point.
It's a funny line you hear. It's like, oh, do you pay tithing on your gross or net income? And it's like, well, do you want gross blessings or net blessings? That's a line. Like, you hear that and you're like, oh, should I pay before taxes? I didn't. I paid after taxes.
Nice.
So maybe I wasn't a very good Mormon. I think most people do that. But
maybe that's why your marriage fell apart.
That's why I wasn't paying enough money.
So what would you say like your peak Mormonism was? Like when you felt the most Mormon in your life?
Oh, on as a missionary, 100%. In Japan.
Perfect segue. I'm
so good at segues. So for context, I'll give a lot of context here. So all Mormon boys are encouraged, like, go on a mission. Like, you don't have to go, but it's an expectation that you go, to the point where you have a choice, but you don't really have a choice. Because think about it like this. Like, let's say you get to 19. At the time, that's how old you had to be. I think 18-year-old boys can go now.
Okay.
But you get to 19, you're like, oh yeah, you're going to go on a mission. Like that's what you do. Imagine, if you will, you say, you know what, I'm not going to go. Well, everyone would be like, well, why aren't you going? Like your whole community would be like, that's kind of weird. And then you also want to marry a Mormon girl at some point. Imagine telling them, oh, I didn't go on a mission because I just didn't want to. They're not going to want anything to do with you. So if you want to have like a future, and I don't just mean like in the organization, it's not like you're not like climbing a corporate ladder. Yeah. But like if you want to stay in good standing in your community, you go. It's just something you do. And so I wasn't thinking about that when I went, but like the social pressure, like the easier thing to do in some ways is to go.
Yeah.
Because that's what everyone's telling you to do. My parents went on missions. My brother went on a mission. And they all talked about how amazing it was and how I was going to love it. And so it's like, oh, well, that's just something I'm going to do. Like growing up, even as a kid, you're like, oh, I'm going to go on a mission. Like,
right.
So it's the default is like, oh, I'm going to do this.
And it's part of your like identity.
Yeah, exactly. There's an identity aspect to it. Not the same thing for women. They are not expected to go. It's a little sexist. It's very sexist. But I know a lot of them do go, and I think more of them have been going lately.
Do they get judged for going, or is it?
There was a time where they kind of did, because it was like, oh, you couldn't get married, like you're on a mission, like. So like my mom went on a mission, that was a little abnormal. Her mom went on a mission, that was very abnormal. This is like, man, when would that have been? The 50s or 60s? Been a very like that was super abnormal, but like. Honestly, like I'm proud of both of them for doing it because they wanted to. Like, so like when women go on missions, it's a little different. It's more like something. I'm not saying the men don't want to go and that it isn't like a noble thing to want to do, but whenever you see like sister missionaries, know that there's kind of this. They had less pressure to go than the men did.
So you think it negatively impacts men, like because they're forced to go, or is it?
I think it negatively impacts everyone, like men and women, but from like the kind of male perspective of it, it's like you don't really have a choice. And so that's kind of, for me, I didn't think about like, is it right or wrong? It's just like, oh, I'm going to go. It's just what I do. You turn 19 and you go. I did one semester at BYU to kind of like live on my own for a bit, if you want to count it that, with Mormon roommates at BYU. It's like, that is not living on your own at school, anyways. But like I did a semester at BYU, and then you would call it putting in your mission papers. So like you got to fill out some forms. You got to be like, hey, I want to do this. You submit them, and then they tell you where you go. You don't get to choose. You can put like, oh, I studied this language in high school, or I have this kind of aptitude. I studied French in high school for a little bit. Like Japan wasn't on my radar at all. Never had no interest in Japan. Like never watched any anime. Like there was no.
Not even Pokemon?
Oh, I guess, okay. I guess Pokemon counts, but like that was as a kid. Like I had Pokemon, but like I grew out of that.
Right. You weren't a weeb. You weren't like obsessed.
I was not a weeb. There were a lot of weebs do go to Japan.
Mormon weebs?
Oh yeah, Mormon weebs.
That's hard to imagine because every time I think of a weeb, I think of like horny, like waifu, part. Like I want to go get some like soap massages or whatever it is, soap lands.
Yeah, so I think classifying them as Mormon weebs is good because they have a different interest. Obviously there's a lot more to Japan than just that stuff, and they're interested in the other aspects of Japan.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But yeah, I had no connections. And so to me, when you submit your papers and then they send you a letter and it's like a big deal. Like you've been called to serve in whatever mission in whatever country. And that's like a huge deal. Mormons will do like, they'll like have mission call parties where it's like everyone gathers and you open your call in front of all your friends, and it's a huge thing.
It's like an acceptance letter for college.
It's like an acceptance letter for college. It's like a gender reveal. It's like it's a huge thing.
If you were to get like Rwanda or like South Sudan, do you have to act happy? Is it like toxic positivity, or is it?
You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. Like you don't have a choice.
But if you're cheering for Japan and your friend gets like Congo, what's the vibe?
Congo is its own unique experience, I'm sure. I mean, I had friends go to like Texas and Mexico and Honduras, and like, it's funny because we all served missions and the core of it is all the same, but like the experience is very different. Like, Japan is a first world country. You can drink the water in Japan. Whereas like the ones in the Congo, it's like, yeah, I got this many parasites, and like that's the thing, you know. It's like, yeah, we lived in a hut. It's like we didn't live in a hut. We had a cool apartment in like downtown like Kobe and all these like.
That's
cool
where you
places.
lived?
I lived in a few places.
They sent you around?
So, okay, well, I'll get to that part too. Well, actually, so I went to the Japan Kobe mission. So that, basically the borders of that were like the Kansai area. So Kobe, Osaka, Kyoto, Okayama, down to like Gifu, Gifu Ken. I'm trying to remember all the places. Shikoku, the whole island of Shikoku. So like that's the region.
You kind of hit the jackpot, bro.
Oh, I hit the jackpot. It's the coolest part of Japan. Thank God it wasn't Tokyo.
That'd be rough, but it still wouldn't be bad. I mean, you're still in Japan.
Yeah, but Tokyo sucks. Like,
yeah,
and that's one thing I love about your channel is you don't like Tokyo either.
Yeah, and as far as places in Japan, it's bad. But as far as places in the world,
anywhere in Japan would have been cool as a missionary because Tokyo sucks, but it's still cool. Japan is still super cool.
Yeah.
I biased, but Kobe, that area, so fun.
It's so much more livable than Tokyo.
Yeah,
way You're gonna have, like ride a bike, and well, obviously you rode a bike, but like
I rode lots of bike riding.
Easier to get around, like friendlier people.
Oh yeah, the people are super friendly. But yeah, that's where I got to go, and then within that region, you could end up in a whole bunch of different places. Like the only way I can think of describing it is like think of it like a sales structure, right? So it's like, okay, you're in this mission. You have this broad region. You could go anywhere in this region. And then within that, there's a bunch of like it's geographically divided, usually, or in a way that kind of makes sense. But like, it's like, oh, I'm in this, I'm not just in the Kobe mission. I'm on the island of Shikoku in the city of Marugame. Like that's my region. And you stay, like, that's where you do all your work.
Right. It's like the cartels. They have like territory.
Yeah, kind of like territory. And then you can be moved to between regions at kind of there are certain intervals. They call them transfers. So every 6 weeks, that's one transfer. And every transfer, you have the potential to go somewhere else or stay. And then
wow, so you could like live in a different apartment every 6 weeks if they just asked you to?
That's pretty rare. It happens. I believe you call it, what do they call it? I think if someone only was there for one transfer, you just say, oh, he gypsied that area, which is...
Wow.
Wait, now that I say that doesn't sound great. But yeah, that's kind of rare. Usually you're there for at least 2 or 3 transfers. So like 12 to 18 weeks.
Okay. That's kind of cool though. I mean, obviously you're doing like cool slave labor, but you're
other than the slave labor, it's super cool because like you get to see a bunch of places. So like I started in Marugame, which is like kind of the boonies. It was beautiful. Like
I don't even know where that is.
It's on Shikoku. Do you know where Takamatsu is?
No.
Man, I'm spacing on the basically
we'll show a map of it.
Yeah, we'll show a map. It's like wherever Okayama is, it's like directly across the water there on the island of Shikoku.
Okay.
It is a pretty small city, so it's like most people don't know where that is.
Yeah.
I only know where it is because I lived there. But I spent a little bit of time there. I was in Osaka for a really short time.
Nice.
I was in Akashi, which is a part of Kobe. I was in Kobe for a really long time. I spent a lot of time in Kobe, which
That's probably the most livable part of all those. Like, I love Osaka, but living there is kind of oppressive. All the buildings and
Kobe was so cool. I love. Can we swear on this podcast?
Yeah.
I fucking love Kobe. It's so
right next to the mountains, the good Kobe beef,
the beef,
sake.
You've got the ocean right there. I know. Well, yeah, you got the mountains. Like it's nestled between the mountains and the ocean or the water, and it's just a little more chill. It's so nice. I love it there. That
little waterfront area, the Bayside with the Ferris wheel and all the little games and the restaurants.
American Park. Yeah, that's I spent a lot of time there. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's so quaint and relaxed. And
I guess let's back up a bit though, because you don't just start in Japan. They don't just send you there right away. You get your call, and they're like, you report to the Missionary Training Center on X date. And you go to it's called the MTC, and they like basically teach you how to be a missionary for however many weeks.
Missionary Training Center?
Missionary Training Center.
So why did you even go to BYU at all? Like,
Oh, I kind of wanted to go to BYU. To be honest, like my parents are like, this is a place you should go. Like it's a good school. They both went there. All my siblings had been there. If you are Mormon, you get your tuition super cheap.
How do you prove that you're Mormon?
I mean, they have your records. They know.
There's a Mormon record? Oh. I couldn't just show up and be like, I love Mormon Jesus. Like, let me in.
You could, and then you could get baptized and all that stuff. But to keep going to BYU, you have to be a Mormon in good standing. So if at any point they caught you drinking this, they could kick you out.
No way.
Yeah.
What does that look like, getting kicked out?
Oh, it's brutal because, like, you lose all your, like, progress. Like, that's a whole.
You make progress as a Mormon? It's like
like progress on your degree. Like you're going, like, if you go, like, I went and studied marketing and statistics at BYU. Like, I have a legitimate degree. It's like they have an amazing business school, a really good accounting. Like, BYU is a very high caliber institution. But if you want to go there, you don't have to be Mormon, but you have to follow the rules. And then if you want the cheaper tuition, you have to be a Mormon, basically. Because the idea is like, oh, it's subsidized by your tithing that you've been paying your whole life, or that your parents have been paying. So,
and it's probably private too. It's probably really expensive. It is a private. If you're not.
Well, it's not even terribly expensive, but like, for instance, one semester of BYU when I was there, it was like $2,000.
Oh my God! It's like community college.
It's like community college. I didn't have any debt from my undergrad. I got.
So you finished it out after your mission. You went.
Yeah, I came back.
So what? You were 25 when you finished or something? How old were you?
I was 21 when I finished my mission in Japan, and then I went to BYU, or kept going to BYU. Finished when I was like 24, 25.
And that's normal for Mormons. Like,
yeah.
Your graduating class was all.
Yeah,
your age.
usually. So like, I mean, I graduated high school in 2011, and so all my non-Mormon peers like finished school in like 2015, 2016. I was done with school in 2018. Cause like,
okay. Well, when you put it like that, it doesn't sound that bad.
No. But yeah, you take 2 years off to go be a missionary.
Wow. Okay, so you're at the Mormon Training Center.
At the Missionary Training Center.
Oh, Missionary Training Center.
I guess you could call it that too. That's actually, it's weirdly enough, it's in Provo. It's actually
Utah.
Right next to, Provo, Utah. It's right next to BYU's campus, which is weird because you're like, oh, like, I used to live over there. Like, I can see my house from the MTC. But you are in a whole different world. You are living the missionary rules. And you are... I was trying to think about it. I was like, how many hours a week are you working as a missionary? That's not even a good way to think about it. I was like, is it like an 80-hour work week? You are on the whole time. You don't have a break. You are following the rules 24/7.
What are the rules?
The rules are insane. So like, it's everything from like when you wake up and when you go to bed. You wake up at 6:30, you go to bed at 10:30. You're always with another missionary. You're always with your missionary companion. You're assigned a companion.
What the fuck?
So like, let's put this in terms. Let's say we are in the MTC together. We both started at the same time. So in that scenario, you'd also be going to Japan. We're both headed to Japan. We're grouped with a bunch of other missionaries who are also going to Japan. Maybe Kobe, maybe the other Japanese missions. But like, we spend all day together. So we wake up we sleep in like the same room. We wake up at the same time. I guess the only time we're apart is in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
But like, if you go to work, like, let's say you're like, oh, I want to go on a run. I have to go on a run with you. You can't go on a run alone.
Why?
You're just never alone.
Is that just to keep you following the rules? It's like your KGB like spy, like your accountability buddy?
Kind of, but like...
Make sure you're not jerking off. Like,
I guess. Yeah. It's kind of hard to explain, but like, it's kind of just like that's what missionaries do. They're always with their companions.
Dude, if we were accountability buddies, I would be like, dude, I got some some sake, man. Like, why don't we just? No one's gonna know, bro.
Well, what's funny is, like.
By the way, we should crack into the sake.
Yes,
I can't hear about this repressive lifestyle
we
and
should
not
talk
drink.
about it over some of this sake. Oh my
The
gosh.
One Cup. This episode brought to you by One Cup. Just kidding. They're not sponsored. I would never take them. They're terrible.
Delicious.
We'll just take a couple little sips because it's really a horrific product.
I can't wait. After me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Mormon's reaction to sake.
Oh, that's not even the worst sake I've had.
Really? I guess it is chilled.
To be fair, I think all sake is pretty gross.
I don't like it, man. I don't see the appeal of that.
It's kind of light.
Well, have at it, man.
No, I'm not having more.
Here, while you keep talking, I'll open this bottle of umeshu.
Love it.
The plum wine.
I can't wait to try that.
It's honestly one of my favorite liquors in Japan. I can't vouch for the quality of this brand. I've never seen it. Moon Lake. It literally looks Chinese. So I don't know. It could be like the Wuhan knockoff. But anyways, let's try it.
Let's do it. But so like, let's say we're in the MTC. You wake up at 6:30, exercise, and then you do like.
What kind of exercise you got?
So I guess I should back in the MTC. It's a little different because like there's thousands of missionaries there. Like I think there were like 5,000 or 6,000 when I was there in this compound. It's literally a compound. Like you're not allowed to leave, but you're basically sleeping in dorms. But like whatever exercise you want, they had like a gym. So like you could do weights, you could do like running, you could do whatever. It was fine. It was passable, but you get like 30 plus minutes for that. Not a ton of time. Then you go have breakfast, and then you get ready. And by get ready, I mean you put on like a suit and tie.
Wait, you're wearing a suit? Oh, I guess because you have to wear the button-ups, right?
Yeah. But not while you're working out. You can wear.
Why do they make you wear that? Is it like as an appearance?
It's a
thing?
uniform. So I guess you
get
get
for this.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
How's it smell?
It doesn't smell bad.
Okay, we got the cup. Put it on ice. This is
I was ready to just.
No sir, no sir.
Like this is too nice to just sip out of the.
Oh yeah. Umeroku. When you're in Japan, that's what you order.
Yeah.
Or that's what I would suggest. Umeroku.
I'll do it.
Umeshu on the rocks, baby.
Here you go.
Hold on, let me screw the cap on here.
We don't want any spills.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Kanpai.
Kanpai.
What do you think?
I think I like the sake better.
Really? I'll drink yours.
It's all right.
It does kind of taste like urine.
Yeah, I was like, this aftertaste is kind of.
It's plum wine. It's usually like sweet and nice and mellow.
It's all right.
It does taste like pee to me, and it looks like pee.
Maybe it'll grow on me as this goes
You don't
on.
have to finish it all. I'll drink yours.
I think I will. I'm gonna need to get through all this. But yeah, the schedule, man. So wake up, exercise, eat breakfast, get ready, and like you're wearing a suit and tie all day after that point. You got your little missionary tag. If you've seen them around, they all have their tags.
Like Jake from State Farm.
It'll say, yeah, right. Yeah. It'll say, so mine said Elder Kershisnik. That's my last name. And then it'll have like the church. It'll say the name of the church, the little black tags. But yeah, you put all that on, and then you're like all day or the day starts with like study. So you're like studying the Book of Mormon. You're prepping for like lesson plans. If you're like teaching people, you have like companionship studies. So like we'd be like, oh, I read this thing, and we'd share it. Like, okay, let's prep for our meeting later with, whoever's on. And then we'll, like we're going to teach them about this, like basically planning like how you're going to like approach people or how you're going to like teach them stuff about Mormonism.
So it's all highly orchestrated.
And then after studying, and that's like 3 hours, because on top of that, you also do language study because we're studying Japanese. And so like 1 hour of personal study, an hour of companionship study, an hour of language study.
Had you studied Japanese before this?
No, zero, none. I knew nothing.
You didn't tell them any preferences when you were signing up? You were just like, put me anywhere.
They don't ask for your preference, but you just put like, did you study a language in high school? It's like, yeah, I studied some French, or like, things like that.
You could probably fluff that though. You could be like, oh, I studied Japanese
you
very
could
intensively.
Definitely fluff it. But you don't want to lie on your, I mean, God can read the application too.
Yeah. I guess I'm viewing it as a pagan.
Yeah.
Not as a good Mormon boy.
Piece of shit. So 3 hours of studying, and then you're off like doing what the missionaries do. Like when you see them out and about, they've done however many hours of studying that morning, and they're working. Now in the MTC, it's different because you're not working, you're prepping. So it's kind of just like studying all day.
Fuck that. How long are you in there for?
I mean, I'm trying to remember. Like you get lunch and dinner, obviously, but from basically like 9 to 9, you're on.
Jesus. What do you do for fun? What do you do at 9 o'clock? Just read your Bible and like...
You like shower, get ready for bed.
You shower with your buddy?
Thank God, no. No, they're individual showers. I sounded disappointed.
It's not a group shower?
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
No, you shower.
That'd be the only action you'd be getting, I guess.
You shower on your own, and then you're asleep by 10:30. You're in bed by 10:00.
So there's no free time?
No free time.
And you're just like getting off on the pleasure of teaching people about Jesus? Like, is that your hobby at that point? Like, you kind of like
that's your whole purpose. That's all you're doing. Like, and so when you're like, oh, like, are you sipping sake or whatever? It's like, there are missionaries that goof off and do that kind of thing. But it's very much like, why are you here if you're going to goof off? Because we have all these rules and you need to be totally bought in. Like, if you're the kind of person that would want to goof off, you wouldn't be there because you value, like, you'd be like, I don't want to do this. I need a break. It's like, or I want to go have fun. You're not even thinking about that because you're so invested and you're so bought in that like goofing off isn't even something you consider for a lot of missionaries.
Yeah. But is there no burnout? I mean, do you get weekends off to go to church and like, do you relax? Do you like have...
No. Oh, technically you get something called P Day, which is like personal day. It's Mondays. And after you do all your study, you still do all your like language and like personal study. And then from like basically 11 to 6, you can go like, and this is so funny. P Day is when you go get groceries and then you can go do something fun if you want.
Damn, so you were in like one of the most interesting places in the world and you could barely scratch the surface.
You get like 6 hours of free time a week. But even then, it's not free time. It's still regimented. You're still with your companion. You still have certain things you can and can't do. But like that's when I'd be like, oh, let's go to the harbor in Kobe and like go to like this fun restaurant or like
just for a couple hours.
Go to Uniqlo and do some shopping or whatever. Like,
I bet those couple hours were just like bliss for you.
Oh, that's all you had. It was so much fun. But like that's the only time you have regimented fun. Now, if you're lucky and you have this is your time to enjoy yourself. If you're lucky and you have like a good companion, like you're just having fun the whole time because you're like just hanging out with your buddy kind of thing. Like,
did you have a good companion?
I had quite a few. Some of them were awesome. Some of them, I was about to say they suck. They don't suck. We just didn't get along. But like, imagine you're stuck with someone 24/7 that you don't get along with. I can't imagine. And they're assigned to you. You don't get to pick.
You can't request like, dude, this guy's...
You can request, but they laugh at you. They're like, that's not how it works. So like, yeah, it's either really fun. Like if you're with a companion, that's cool. And you're in a cool area, you can actually like enjoy yourself quite a bit. Like your day to day is not so bad, even though you're basically working 24/7. But if you're with a companion that like you don't vibe with, and I had like 2 or 3 of those, it's hell. It's absolute hell.
What's like one of the worst days you can remember?
I mean, it's not even so much days, but it's like you wake up and you're stuck with this person that you're like, I don't like you and you don't like me, but we have to get along because we're trying to convert people and this is the whole point that we're here. So there's all this extra pressure about like following the rules and like just like getting through it. And you're like, I just have to make it through 6 weeks with this person. But then sometimes you get to 6 weeks and they're like, actually, you're going to stay another 6 weeks. I was stuck with one guy who, at the time, I hated his fucking guts. And to be fair, he hated mine. I think we were together for like 3 or 4 transfers, which is that is an abnormal amount of time. The reason is we were really successful. Like we did really good work. And so they're like, we're not going to change it. And it's like, I hate it here. I hate my life. This is so bad. I'm miserable and lonely. This is the only person I hang out with.
Oh man, that sucks.
But nowadays I'm like, I don't have any issue with him. Like, it's like, oh, that was a shitty situation for both of us. Like, we should not have been hanging out. Like,
even with your best friend, I couldn't spend what's that? 5 months with someone. Mm-hmm. Even my best fucking friend, 24 hours a day.
Now it's good.
There you go. Start talking about the painful memories. So the liquor starts to taste good.
Oh, Lord. But like, yeah, looking back, I'm like, oh, that was a shitty situation for both of us. But like, man, those were like the low points, is when you're with someone that like sucks. I had probably the worst one was a guy that, it's not that we just didn't get along. Like he was like kind of an asshole. He was like really super mean to me. You know? Like he was like, missionaries like to play like pranks on each other, which is fine. And a really funny one is when a brand new missionary comes in, there's all these rules, and they get to Japan. You're like, all right, welcome. Like, now just so you know, there's a bunch of additional rules to like the typical one. One is like, we've had a bunch of earthquakes in Japan recently. So like when you sleep, you have to wear a helmet while you sleep.
Oh my!
And so the little brand new missionary, the jet lagged missionary, puts the helmet on and goes to sleep, and the other ones like take a picture of them laying in their futon with the helmet. That's relatively harmless. It's not great, but it's like whatever.
Yeah.
But this guy would like put me in situations where it's like he would just be making fun of me if I made mistakes, or like it was like it like really, really sucked. So it wasn't just
an
like,
asshole,
a huge asshole. And like, thankfully I was only with him for 6 weeks, but like sometimes I still think about those 6 weeks now. It's been like 10 years. And sometimes I'm just like, that was the worst. Like 24/7 with someone that you don't just dislike, like they don't like you.
And you can feel it. There's like a tension between you. Like you're cycling along. It's just silence.
Oh my gosh.
Not saying a word.
So like that's kind of the spectrum. It's either like you're with your friend and you're having a good time, or you're with someone that it's just the worst.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. Where are Mormons going when they're cycling? Where are you cycling to?
Great question. So a couple places we'd be going. One is we'd be going to like meet with someone we're going to teach. Usually if you're teaching someone, you're like in their home, if possible.
So it's someone that's agreed to learn about Mormonism.
Yeah. Or they meet at the church and you go to like cycle to the church. Usually our apartments were close to wherever the Mormon church was in that area. But yeah, that's where you're going.
Okay.
Or you're going to find people. Like you're hunting people down.
Head hunting.
Pretty much. So the way that looked in Japan was you're either knocking on doors, which that was never fun.
I can't imagine that would be fun
or
at
you're
all.
stopping people on the street, which also wasn't fun.
Oh my God.
You're just like, sumimasen, like, and you're like, and it's so funny because it wasn't effective, but like, you just need to get it out there. Like, hey, we're missionaries from this church. And if they instantly like turn away from you, you're like, all right, cool. If they don't, and you like can get them to stop and chat, then you got like a spiel, like we're sharing some message about
all in
family.
Japanese.
All in Japanese.
Wow.
100%.
So your Japanese was pretty good.
I don't know, man. Like, so I was in the MTC for like 12 weeks, which is a very long time.
You just wouldn't learn. They wouldn't let you leave.
No. The whole time you're just learning Japanese, learning how to be a missionary. Then they send you to Japan. So I got there I entered the MTC December 2011, went to Japan in like March or February of 2012. And then they just assign you a companion and they just set you loose and you're just a full-fledged missionary. Now you can't do a lot because your language skills are shit. You know, you can't learn Japanese in 12 weeks. I don't think you can learn Japanese in 2 years. But you get okay at it as time goes on.
Yeah, you probably got really good at like 5 phrases. Like, hey, we're missionaries. We're from the Mormon church. We want to talk about Jesus.
Absolutely. But if someone wants to talk about the weather, it's just like, I don't.
Right.
cloudy.
They didn't teach me about that.
Yeah, it's like the sun is shining. Like it just.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So your understanding of Japanese is totally skewed towards like you couldn't be like, oh, what's your job? Like, do you have kids? Like, you can't make small talk.
You learned how to do small talk because like, if you're just a robot and only speak about religion, I mean, apart from missionaries being weird anyway, like you're super weird. So like you part of what you're learning is how to be more conversational, but it's really hard to do in general, just because Japanese is so nuts as a language, especially if you've never studied it before. A kind of classic graph, I don't know if it's accurate, is it's like the x-axis is like time and the y-axis is like language proficiency over time. And it's like, oh, for French missionaries or Spanish-speaking missionaries, they get to a certain point and they plateau because like they're basically fluent. For missionaries like in Japan, the line never stops going up and it goes up really slowly because you never get to a point of like, I'm good at this language. Because either you don't understand the phrases, you don't understand the words. There's all of the like the conjugations if you're being polite or rude. You don't really learn how to read all that well. Like, what time do you have to learn all 2,000 kanji to like be able to read fluently?
Right, and I guess they're not teaching you like survival Japanese. They're teaching you
Mormon
missionary Japanese, like to convert people. It's not like, oh, we're going to help you catch a bus. It's like, we're going to help you convert people to Mormonism.
And like, what's funny about that is you're using the Mormon words are words that like the Japanese don't know. So in a weird way, you have to teach them the Japanese words that for like the Mormon stuff, which is really ass backwards.
That is crazy.
You're like, oh, look, this is this thing. And they're like, what is that word? It's like, well, now I have to learn how to teach. I don't know.
That's tough.
It was tough. I woke up an hour early most days to study more, which was I do not recommend that if you're doing that kind of schedule anyway. But like, I was like, I need to get better at this. And I got pretty good.
Like about converting people or about like
just
survival
learning
stuff?
Japanese. Just like, so I spent a little more time reading Japanese than I think a lot of other missionaries did because I was like, this feels important. Some missionaries are just like, I don't even bother with the reading. I don't have time to learn that. So they just get good at speaking, which I think is a legitimate approach because it's like you kind of have to pick your battles. But yeah, I got pretty good. I was pretty successful, I'd say, from like the Mormon missionary standpoint. I guess for some context here, there's tons of hierarchy in the whole mission thing, like tons of hierarchy. So if you're a missionary, let's say you just started, you are like kind of the bottom of the totem pole. You're what's called a junior companion. So within a companionship, there's a senior companion and a junior companion.
Oh.
So obviously, like, the senior companion can't boss around. Like, you don't want to be an asshole, but it's like, if the senior companion says, this is what we're doing, that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, the senior companion had the only cell phone between the two of you.
You didn't get a phone?
Missionaries now, I think, have their own smartphones. This was pre-smartphone era. So there was one phone per companionship.
Oh, my God. What do you do with the phone?
That's how you like called people. You could you could text people to be like, hey, like, can you meet or whatever? Like, or that's how you like called other the missionary leadership if you needed help with stuff.
So you guys had a little Japanese flip phone?
It wasn't a flip phone. It was actually this brick. I think it's the same ones that like the cops had. It was like super robust. Like you couldn't break that thing if you wanted to.
You probably couldn't have any fun on it either. No games or like
nothing. It was for GPS texting and calling. That was it.
Oh, you had a GPS on there?
Oh yeah, it was like Japanese. Even like the dumb phones, they were super sophisticated. Like it was, but it was all in Japanese. You're just like, I think this is where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
Like, but you just learn the pattern to do it.
Damn. That probably forced you to read a little bit.
Yeah. But like reading in the sense like you don't actually understand the words. You just recognize the patterns. You're like, oh yeah, that means send. I don't know what the characters mean, but I know that means send. So like,
could you call your family with the phone or?
No. Nowadays missionaries can call home, I think, whenever they want, which, good for them, but fucking wimps,
Yeah. Also, they only go to church for 2 hours. Fucking pussies.
We can call home twice a year. Christmas and Mother's Day.
Oh man, that's brutal.
You could exchange emails like once a week on P-Day. That was one of the things you could do on your time off.
They restricted you sending emails?
Yeah, so you were on 24/7 pretty much. Like,
but how easy is it to like be on the shitter and just like fire off an email? It takes 2 seconds.
I don't think
like,
you'd
hey
be
mom, how
able-
are you? Are you still alive?
I think you maybe could do that with those phones, but it'd be hard to like send an email to like I never tried to do it but that was also against the rules. Like, you don't just contact home.
Why do they feel the need to control that? It seems so...
It's all about keeping you focused. At least that's how it was. Now, I think it's good. I joked and said they're wimps, but I think it's good that missionaries now can talk to their family whenever they want, because that is a normal thing to do.
Dude, you're still a kid. Like, you were 19 years old. And they're like, you can't talk to your mother.
No. Well, on Mother's Day, you could for like an hour.
Oh, my God. So you what? And that was before FaceTime. You were just calling on a...
cell phone. Yeah. Now,
Damn.
sometimes people would get to FaceTime depending on the technology available, but like
that seems so unnecessary. Like, why not every personal day? Why would you not be able to? Because you're not even having fun in the country. Like, you're not even experiencing the culture. You're just like there to talk about Jesus, and then you're like, man, I really miss my mom. I would love to talk to her to help me get through this hard time. They're like, nope, just talk to your fucking...
It's honestly like kind of
person.
Like, they really glorified. They're like, yeah, you're focused. You can fully focus on being a missionary. No distractions. And so that was the perspective. It's like, yeah, I don't need to call home. I'm super focused missionary. Like, I'm... Yeah.
Sounds pretty toxic, though.
It was pretty toxic. Like, not to bum out, but like, my brother got married while I was gone. So like, I didn't go to his wedding. My grandpa died. Like, my middle name is Glenn. Like, that was his first name. Like, I loved my grandpa, and I didn't go to his funeral. My nephew was born. He had like this heart condition, and he's alive, thank God. But like there was a good chance he wouldn't have been. So like, maybe I would have never met my nephew.
Oh my
like,
God.
And like, that's kind of like a chill version. There are some people where it's like, yeah, my mom died and I didn't go home.
Oh my
Like,
God. So what, they just let you know on your personal day, like, hey, by the way, your mom's dead. Like, she's not going to pick up the phone.
I mean, I guess you know, because you're emailing. Your family can keep you like abreast of what's going on, but like it's...
Holy shit.
Yeah, it sucked. Like, but in the time, you're like, oh, I'm being a good missionary. I'm staying focused. But now I look back and it's like, I should have been at my grandpa's funeral. I should have been at my brother's wedding. I should have been there when to spend time with my nephew who may not have made it more than a week. You know what I mean? Like,
and it would have taken 3 days to fly there and fly back, do the ceremony.
But
like,
you cannot go only under really special circumstances can you leave and come back. If you leave, they're probably not going to send you back to Japan. They might send you back stateside, maybe. But basically, if you leave, you're done.
And then it's like a whole status thing. Your whole world comes tumbling down. Like, you can't get married to a good Mormon woman.
And that's the kicker, right? The whole thing is like, you got to serve a mission and serve an honorable mission. That's what they call it. That means you did the full time. You didn't get sent home. You didn't quit. You did the whole thing.
Dude, you realize like that requires more commitment than like being deployed in Afghanistan.
I know, and it's like, well,
like those guys can call home. Yeah.
It is wild.
And they get paid.
The more, like, I'm not saying it's nothing like the military in that like your life isn't on the line, but like it feels more like the military, and in some ways it's more military than the military because the rules are more intense. It's like you're in active duty, like you're deployed in a war zone. It's like, yeah, sorry, you can't call home. Elder Kershisnik is fighting for his life, stopping random people on the street to like try and get them to... Yeah,
I can't imagine you could even be like a focused, diligent missionary because you're thinking about like family stuff. You can't even be like, oh, I got to convert Takeshi's son. Like, bring one more soul over to...
Son,
yeah. It's probably like the most common Japanese name. But
yeah.
That's fucked up, man. Hold on, I got to go pee. Hold on.
No, go for it.
The umeshu helps get through the dark times.
This is the best wine I've ever had. Yeah, it's...
Sorry to break there, by the way. That was kind of savage,
no,
but I really had to be.
There's no better time. I mean...
That's fucked, man. Like, even when I lived there, I lasted... I was only there 1 year.
That's a good amount of time.
Yeah, it's still enough to where I was like in the honeymoon phase, like really happy with being there. Because I feel like I've talked to people that have been there like 5-6 years and they start to just hate it. They're like, oh, it's hard to get around. People aren't friendly. Like they start to see all the bad parts. You see the
cracks, yeah. After 2 years, you kind of see the cracks. And here's a fun, you run into foreigners kind of quite often out there. And almost all of them they're teaching English because that's the only way you can like stay in the country.
Yeah. Just like a deadbeat job, just easy to get in the door.
Very dead in the eyes, those guys. And
barely alive.
But we had a term for them. We would call it's a very specific person. It's a foreigner who, for whatever reason, moved to Japan. Sometimes they were like missionaries that came back. They're like, I love Japan.
Oh, wow.
They married a Japanese woman, basically got trapped in Japan because she doesn't want to move to the U.S. She wants to stay in Japan with her family. He gets trapped there, and all he can do is teach English. And, like, his kids don't really speak English. And, like, he's kind of in this loveless Japanese-American marriage.
Oh, God.
We would call that, it was a Bruce, like, oh, there's a Bruce. Like
Bruce?
We just call him a Bruce.
Like a Chad or something?
So like if someone said, oh, yeah, we ran into a Bruce the other day, you know exactly what they're talking about. Oh, man. And, man, those guys... They're not happy to see you, by the way. Like they're like, oh, another American. Foreigners are never happy to see missionaries. You're like, oh, we can speak English. They're just like, get out of here. Like, I don't want to talk to you.
Even like foreigners seeing other foreigners. Like when I lived in Osaka, I had this fantasy that I was like the only white guy living in Japan. Like I was just doing something that no one else had ever done. And you see a white guy and your illusion is completely shattered.
Exactly. They're like, well, I'm special. But the Bruces have no delusion. They hate it there. They hate their lives. And you can see it on their faces. We'd look at them and be like, oh, that sucks. Like,
poor son of a bitch.
Which is hilarious for missionaries to be like, man, that looks rough. It's like, bro, like you, whatever. Like you're one to say that. So I do recognize the irony of being like, man, that sucks.
Dude, I had so many coworkers like, you captured it perfectly. Dead in the eyes.
They're exhausted.
A walking corpse. Mm-hmm. They make $24,000 a year. Their wife doesn't work. They're expected to like bring home the bacon and like, it's crazy. Yeah, I had a lot of coworkers like that, man. I had this one Australian coworker. I actually, he was teaching private lessons on the side. Mm-hmm. And when he moved away, I took his private lesson students. And so there was like 2 or 3 weeks where I was going with his private lessons with him to his private lessons to kind of learn the ropes and see, you know, what I was about to inherit, so to speak. And just spending more than an hour with him, I was like,
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, like I had this illusion that like Japan was this fun fantasy land, like Disneyland or something. And then I see this poor bastard like addicted to cigarettes, like just reeked of cigs all the time.
There's nothing else to do there.
Yeah,
It's depressing.
He had gray hair. I think he had gotten left by his wife or something. His dad was dying in Australia. He had to go home. And I was like, this poor bastard.
A lot of Australians.
He has nothing to show for it. He has no money saved, no career, no wife. Like, just wasted his life.
And they haven't we're speaking in generalizations, of course. They went to Japan because things weren't going great back home. In general, I'm not saying that's everyone.
It's a lot of them. It's a lot. That was me. That was me for sure. I had nothing going on.
But like, you're not in Japan because things are going well in Australia or the U.S. You're there because you're like, well, maybe I could be big in Japan. And
exactly it.
After you tried and failed, you kind of burned whatever bridges there were, and you're like, I'm stuck here. I'm in either a loveless marriage or I'm divorced, and I'm teaching English, which you'd like, oh, do you get any job satisfaction? It's like, no, they're terrible at English. No matter what you do, you can't teach them.
And the curriculum isn't built in a way.
I'm assuming you're like just kind of going through the motions.
Yeah, you're just a monkey. You're a white monkey, like reading scripts.
So it's not fulfilling. They're not getting good at English.
No.
And yeah, man, I feel sorry for the Bruces out there.
Shout out all the Bruces.
Shout out to all the Bruces.
This one goes out to the Bruces. Let's try the Orion, the Okinawa beer. It's probably my favorite Japanese beer that there is. Oh, yeah. Kanpai, sir.
Kanpai to the Bruces.
Oh, yeah, it's satisfying.
Oh, that is good.
It's not bad, right? Orion.
Love it.
I think it's Asahi's version of, or no, yeah, Asahi's Okinawa beer. I'm pretty sure.
That's actually really good, and I'm not a beer guy, so
it's not even that cold anymore.
Still good.
It's been sitting out.
Yeah, and not every foreigner in Japan is like that, and
a lot of them are though. I mean, we can speak in general terms. It's okay.
To be honest, pretty much everyone we encountered was like that. They were all just like, oh no. Some of them were more like, there were Mormon Bruces, so you'd see them at like church. They at least had like the church community, but they still seemed kind of bummed.
Wait, so how does one become a Mormon Bruce? You do your mission in Japan and then just stay? So you convert a wife and then...
So that wasn't... I'd say it's uncommon, but some like this kind of goes to the general thing. Like, you go to Japan as a foreigner, and just by being a foreigner, people are impressed with you, right? So like you'd speak Japanese. I'd be like, "Oh, hi, konnichiwa," and they'd be like, "Oh, your Japanese is so good." And you're just like, yeah. And like, you do all that, and it's just like,
you're like, I am kind of a big deal. No, it's no big deal.
But man, that was always a fun thing to be like, "Oh, no, I'm not that good." You're like, but maybe I am. But like, they all say that, and like, you're special just for being. For nothing other than your existence, and
just white privilege at its finest.
White privilege,
pure white privilege.
And like, if you're kind of a loser back home, and I'm saying this with all the empathy I can muster, because like that is like, imagine you're like, man, I'm not very cool here, but in Japan, like, I'm somebody here, and so it's not a huge stretch to talk yourself and be like, well, I'll go teach English and it'll be so fun.
So they'd complete their mission and then they go back.
They go back. Sometimes they'd find a way, like, you can get an American job and the company will like send you to Japan. Like, that's kind of the ideal. But like, a lot of them, they're like, I'm just going to go teach English. And there was some girl in Japan I was kind of interested in. You wouldn't have like acted on anything as a missionary. Like, you wouldn't have been able to have a relationship. That's pretty much impossible. It's not unheard of, but it's pretty hard to
2 hours a week you devote to it. That'd be insane.
Yeah. So like, but a lot of them go back, they find a Japanese wife, and then
did they convert the wife?
Sometimes, but like sometimes, like there are Japanese Mormons, so there were Japanese missionaries. Pretty, I'd say rare, not as common as like foreigners. Like, most of the missionaries are white, but like the goal, actually, the dream was to have a Japanese companion, so that your Japanese would get super good, because of course they all wanted to speak English and the Americans just want to speak Japanese, but you learn a lot more like normal Japanese that way. I never had a Japanese companion. It still bums me out to this day, because that would have been really fun.
Was it common?
Usually over the course of your mission, you'd have at least one Japanese companion.
Oh man, that's so you didn't get one. That sucks.
For context, I think I had like 8 or 9 companions over the whole 2 years. So
all yours were American?
I had one Australian, and
that's
a funny way of saying that. I had an Australian.
Add it to your body count.
Oh, and a Brazilian, and you either had missionaries from the U.S., Brazil. Brazil has a lot of Japanese expats, whatever you want to call them, and so not uncommon to have Brazilian missionaries go to Japan. So that's actually super common. And a lot of Australian missionaries too.
That makes sense. Did you work with any girl missionaries?
So as far as that goes, your companions, if you're a guy, your companion's always a guy.
That makes sense.
Now,
they don't want any sexual attention.
No. And there's all these rules around, like, you're never alone. Like, if it's the elders, like the 2 missionaries and the sisters, they're never alone together. Like, there's all these, like, the stigma. So, like, you could have, like, if you went to the church, let's say, sometimes you're setting up for a meeting, and it's like, sometimes in the same area, you'll have a set of elders and a set of sisters. You guys wouldn't, if you're alone in the church together, like, one of you has to leave. One of the companionships has to leave, because you can't, it's just like, that's taboo.
Okay.
So they're like, there's never, like, you can make friends with them, obviously. Like, I was friends with all kinds of other missionaries, but like, you're never really alone with any of the sisters. Like, as far as you're concerned, they're just like aliens. Like, you're like, I'm really not supposed to interact with you all that much.
What do the lady missionaries wear? Did they wear the white button-up shirts?
No, they get more freedom. They can wear like dresses. I mean, they're all like long dresses. It's probably not very comfortable, especially in like Japanese summer. But like they get a little more freedom.
So you wore the short sleeve shirt with the tie every day?
Yes, but here's the funny part. There was a certain point where they're like, okay, now everyone needs to wear suits. After that point, if you're out and about, you need to wear a suit. And then at another point,
like with a jacket.
With a jacket.
Oh my God.
Now, to be fair, it would get pretty cold, and you're like, I want the suit jacket. But like in the summer, you're wearing tie, white shirt, slacks, dress shoes, and short sleeve white shirt.
And you're cycling everywhere.
That's
brutal.
Man, so much sweating.
How far would you cycle normally?
Depends on your area. Sometimes you can take the trains, but like that's your money. You're trying to save.
Wait, they don't give you money or a stipend or?
You get a stipend. Oh man, we're covering all the stuff here.
Let's do it.
So I can't believe I'm going to say this because it is crazy. You pay to go on the mission. You're paying. Now it's not a lot. Like they're covering your apartment. You don't deal with that.
That's nice.
They will reimburse you for like travel that you need to do to like get to places. Sometimes there's like meetings of like regional meetings that you need to go to. They'll reimburse your travel for that. Obviously, like they pay for your flight to get there. But like every month, it's a certain amount of money you have to pay to be there. Along with working full time there, like you're a fully
Wait, what are you paying for?
I don't know why they make missionaries pay. It's always been kind of weird because it's like, wait, they're volunteering their time, but you pay. I can't remember what the amount is now. Maybe it's like $200 or $400 a month. But you're paying money to be there. Now you get a stipend. We got 30,000 yen a month.
So like $3,000.
No, $300.
Oh, oh no!
Come on, man.
I'm missing a zero.
Now that would cover. That was for food. That would cover because that's the only thing you really need to pay for, and then, some missionaries would use some of that to like travel on trains within their mission area. You don't get reimbursed for that, so you're really incentivized to bike or walk everywhere.
Do they buy your bike?
No, you buy your own bike. It's your bike. You take it with you as you go between the areas.
Slave labor, bro.
Slave labor.
They're making you pay for it.
Yeah. But yeah, $300, that's all you had. So it's like, we would go out to restaurants. Like you can go out to eat for like lunch and dinner and stuff like that. So we'd go out to restaurants when we could. But like, how many restaurants can you go to in a month? I mean, there's still like, you find the good places. Like there's some amazing ramen shops. I can't wait. My wife and I are going in November to visit Japan again, which is going to be super fun.
And that'll be your first time back?
I've been back. This will be my first time back as not as a Mormon. So like,
you're going to do all kinds of sinning.
I'm going to do I'm going to find this beer. I'm going to, I don't know. Who knows what I'll do. You
need to brush up on the alcoholics vocabulary in Japan. I'm sure they didn't teach you that in missionary.
They didn't teach us anything like that.
Namabiru.
Biru. I mean, it's so funny. It's like, it's like, how do you say that word? It's like what's beer? Biru. Fuck. It's just like.
Oh, so you just sound racist.
I know, that's all it is. How do you? My favorite one is like, do you know how to say Velcro in Japanese?
Verukuro.
That's what I thought. I can't remember what I was asked. There was something. I can't remember the context, but I was asking about Velcro at a store. And I was like, I said that, and they're like, what? And I looked up the word, like, oh, magiku tape.
No.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you idiots. Like, what?
Oh
to be fair, it's easier to say than berukuro, like whatever. But like, it's like magic tape. Yeah,
magic tape.
Magic tape.
Oh my God.
Fun country.
Dude, the weebs are just jizzing in their pants and they're like, I can go and say, I can just be racist. I'd be condescending to my wife.
The weebs.
Holy shit. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff where you learn about it and you're like, wait, that's what you like.
The trippy ones are when they're like, so they have lots of loan words, so like beer, alcohol, whatever, but then they'll like take words from like Dutch or like, and then it's like, I can't remember them.
Yeah, or they say, instead of bread, they say pan.
Nippon, like, for the French or whatever. My favorite one is like, and I think I asked Japanese people a few times. They never had a good answer. The word for tunnel is tanoru. And I was like, what did you call it before? And they're like, I don't know what we called it before. I was like,
good question.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what is it? They're like, it's just a tunnel. It's like, oh, gosh, okay. It's frustrating language.
That does speak to the Japanese ability to adapt to a global world. They're like, amazing. You know what? We're just going to... I mean, with this beer, they just stole the idea of beer from, like, the Germans. They stole, like, whiskey from the Scotch and the Irish and us.
We can do it really well, and it's like, you guys are doing amazing.
Better, probably.
Better, yeah. The loan words, you think, like, oh, that'll make it easier. It's like, in some ways it makes it harder because it's not... It's all weird.
I have to learn German now? I have to learn these, like, French words?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, oh, and that's another set of... that's another alphabet you have to learn to read and write, and it's like, okay.
But in some ways, I think that's the most useful alphabet to learn. Like, you have hiragana, katakana. If you can read katakana, you can know a lot of stuff. You can read a lot. And because you're like, you don't even have to, because with the hiragana, it's like, oh, I don't know what, jitensha means, but I can read the hiragana, which means bike. But if you can read, like, pasokon in katakana, it's like, oh, personal computer. Okay. Yeah, exactly, and you can, like, reason through it a little more, Yeah.
To my credit, I got pretty good at reading. I even got pretty good at, like, writing a lot of characters.
Kanji?
I put a ton of time into that, like, way more than it's worth. I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm not using it in my day-to-day now.
Yeah, it would come back, though, I think, if you spent
a
decent amount of time there.
I'm going in November. I'm going to, like, do some brushing up, not so much on the kanji, but, like, the speaking. Yeah. I've started doing it, and I'm, like, learning words and phrases like, oh, I never knew that. Like useful, like, just like, I can't think of a specific example, but it's just like...
Yeah, like, they didn't let us learn about tobacco. Like...
or even, like, it's like, I don't need to know this word because I have to learn how to I have to learn how to talk to someone about how they can't have sex before marriage. Like, imagine doing that in Japanese. You are a 19-year-old talking to, like, a 30-year-old woman or, like, a 40-year-old man, and you're like, what am I doing? Sometimes they're like, oh, you're living with your girlfriend? You guys have to get married before you can get baptized. In Japanese. Right. Like, the audacity to do that.
You're, like, passing judgment on them in their country.
And it's like, I'm 19. Like, I'm just a boy. Like, I'm telling you what to do. I'm going to act. Right. I'm very confident. Like, I'm a cool American.
I know the way of the world. I'm 19, and I've read this special magical book.
I know.
Were there any days where you're like just not feeling it? Like, I don't feel confident. And because, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Like, you're a visitor in their country and you're telling them, like, how to live. You're passing judgment on them, like, again, in their country.
Oh, the audacity. Yeah. I think the best way to describe it is after I was there for like 6 to 8 months, I felt pretty good. Like, I was like, I can talk to people. I can go to the grocery store. I can read some stuff. I can get around. Yeah. But after like 2 years, when I went home, I felt worse about my Japanese then than I did at like 8 months in.
Right.
Because at a certain point, you become aware of like, oh, these are all the things I don't know. Like, because initially you're learning new stuff and you're like, I'm getting it. But you reach a point where it's like, oh, I can't quite grasp this concept, or like, I can't quite understand what that's saying, or it's like, you never watch, you can't watch TV, by the way, but sometimes you'll walk by a store and you'll see like the TV playing. You'll be like, I don't know what they're saying, like, but I thought I knew Japanese. It's like, well, it's different. And so by the time I left, I was like, oh, I don't really know anything. Like, I can't really thrive here. And kind of like you're saying, it's like, who am I to tell these people what to do? I never quite got that far, but it is kind of the same thing where it's like, oh, like, I don't belong here, like, or I'll never belong here, because like this place is not crazy, but it's like, it's so foreign and so different and so hard to like assimilate. So by the time I went home, I was like, I'm ready to go home, and I'm excited to go back because it's fun. I have all kinds of good memories, but it's like, I didn't want to live there. Some missionaries, they're like, I want to go back, they're itching to get back. I never did, thank heavens. or else we wouldn't be here. I'd be sad and teaching English.
Yeah, cigarette,
in Kobe, and
addled,
depressed,
gray hair.
Man. It was fun.
So I feel like you must have reached a level of culture shock that I never got to, because like there's that graph of culture shock where you kind of enter and you're like on this high, this honeymoon phase, and that lasts, and then you like have this deep dive of like, I do not belong here after like 3 or 4 months. Who am I to be here? Who am I to like whatever? I don't understand anything. And then like around 6, 7, 8 months, you start to like kind of come out of that, and you're like, oh, I'm learning the language. I can order food. I can like eat at a restaurant. I can buy my groceries.
That was a great feeling.
I can date or whatever it is. Like I can, you're able to like fend for yourself a little more. And then
did you say date? You're not dating anyone.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
God wouldn't want you to.
No. You're not. There is a line, flirt to convert. That's bad.
Ooh.
We don't do that.
See, I thought that was part of being a missionary. You had to go and pillage other countries.
Not literally pillage, but like we might as well have been. Just like, hey, your Japanese lifestyle culture. No. Do this more. Join this American religion.
This very white religion.
Live like the Americans do in Japan. Like
that's a hard sell, dude.
It was, and because of that, like speaking generally, like the idea was you'd find like a family. We're talking like a mom and a dad and like kids, and you're like baptize them and they join the church, and it's like this cool thing. And that would be cool, I guess. But that's not who you're finding. The dads are all at work. The kids are all at school. The mom doesn't leave home in general. Maybe she's working, things have changed in Japan. But like you're finding maybe college students, sometimes they'll give you the time of day because they're a little more open-minded. They have kind of the time. You're also finding a lot of mentally ill people because they're just out and about, and they'll talk like, oh, these white guys want to talk to me? Great, I'll talk all day.
I don't have a job. I got all the time in the world.
Or you're finding people that are just like, I love Americans. Like, you can say whatever you want. Like, I just want to hang out with you. Those are the kind of people you tend to find.
So they're not really interested in the religion. They're just more about the novelty of, oh, this white guy in a suit wants to talk to me.
A lot of people that we
in a suit wearing a helmet.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people we taught and converted would say things like, initially I was just like, oh yeah, the Americans, they're cool. But then like, and you do kind of lean into that because quite often that's the only way you can get people to talk to you is like, hey, like I'm cool. Like I'm a fun person.
Yeah,
like,
you pull up and you're like Guy Fieri, like frosted tips.
I wish, but like you a lot of things you pick up is like the local slang and stuff because they love it when you're using like local dialects. I used a lot of Osaka Ben.
But what were you saying in Osaka Ben?
Oh man, I said I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to summon like how do you say? Oh
Mechaeon, like really cool.
Yeah, why am I struggling? See, it's been so long. I'm trying to remember.
Nandeonen.
Yeah,
like,
Nandeonen.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, if you said that, they'd be like, oh,
it's so easy to wow them.
So yeah, so you learn a lot of phrases like that to like get people interested in you, and then you try and it. I wouldn't say it's malicious. I guess it technically is, but it's like that's the only way you can get these people to stop because they've got their own lives. They're so busy, and they don't want to give you the time of day. Like, why would they? Like, I wouldn't. I don't run into missionaries, but I mean, I might stop to be like, are you okay? Like, are you good? But like, I'm not, even like Americans don't want to talk to American missionaries.
So you see missionaries out like in Georgia and stuff, and you ask them if they're okay?
I haven't had the opportunity, to be honest. Like, actually, no, I did get that once. It was a while back, but like, they're like, yeah, we're good. They just wanted to like meet, but I've tended to kind of avoid, one thing to bring it back to me. That's
why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'll hear people say like, oh, I'm an ex-Mormon. For a while, I don't know if I want to say I identified as one, but it's like, I defined myself as like, yeah, I'm not a Mormon. And I made sure to like stay on top of what was going on in the Mormon church so I could like have a conversation to like refute things or like, so it was almost like the different side of the same coin where I was like, oh yeah, I'm not a Mormon. I define myself as like ex-Mormon. Like I'm not a Mormon anymore. But eventually I got to the point where I was like, this is exhausting. I'm just doing the same thing, just a different version of it. So now I'm very much like, yeah, I'm just not Mormon at all. Like, I don't really think about it. If someone's like, oh, were you, and I think you said like, oh, you're an ex-Mormon. And I corrected as like, I'm a former Mormon. Cause it's like I'm just not one. Like, I'm not really interested in engaging with it anymore because I did it for 27 years. I was all in and it was exhausting. At the end of the day, it's like, why did you leave? Like, why? I was depressed and it sucked and I was tired and I was like, I don't like living like this. Why am I so bummed out? It's like, cause you're just like fitting yourself into this like perfect mold and that's not who you are. You're not happy that way. So I just stopped. I stopped going. I just totally quit, and my life has been so much better since. Like, in every conceivable way, I've been so much happier. And it's like, that's why, like, there's all kinds of doctrinal things that are super weird, like, and I'm happy to talk about those more, but it's like, at the end of the day, I didn't quit because of an intellectual thing. It's like, I was done. I gave it my all. I did it. You know, how long do you have to do something before you're like, I don't think this is working?
Yeah.
And I got to that point.
What was was it just you reading about Scientology, or?
I mean, I use that as an example of like what kind of started me on the journey, but I think it was really just realizing like, oh, I'm really unhappy and I've been unhappy for like kind of my whole life in a way. I was like, why is that? It's like, I wonder if it's this super controlling religion that I'm a part of. It couldn't be that, could it? You know, it's like when, like, it's almost like, oh, like if I'm unhealthy, like what habit could I change? It's like, well, maybe I'm eating a bag of Doritos every night. Or maybe that's why I'm unhealthy. It's that kind of thing where it's like, maybe it's that thing I've been doing.
That must have been terrifying to like realize that though.
It was, because not to get super into it, but like I was still married at the time and I realized like, oh, if I stop being Mormon, I might not be married anymore. And that happened. There were a couple other reasons, but it's like, oh, like, so it wasn't just leaving Mormonism, it was losing a spouse, like lifestyle, all those things. I didn't lose any friends. I have really good friends. Like I have wonderful Mormon friends that supported me completely. I think I'm a little lucky. I think some people do lose relationships.
I always thought Mormons like excommunicated you once you, I thought you couldn't talk to your family members that left the church once they leave.
Mormons don't shun, not officially. Maybe some weird ones do. But like my parents are still super into it. But like there's absolutely no issues with that relationship.
That's great. Were you afraid that would happen?
A little bit. I wasn't the first of my siblings to like quit. So they struggled a little bit with like my oldest sister when she quit, because it's kind of a big paradigm shift for them, because it's all like Mormonism. The beautiful thing about it is like, it's not just something you do. It's like you do with your whole family. And so when someone leaves, it's like, oh, you're not in the club anymore by our definition. So it's kind of traumatic for them if you want to think about it like that.
Yeah. I mean, they might view it as like a failure.
Yeah.
On their part, you know?
And so I'm not saying my parents did a bad job, but it was hard for them. And then I had another sibling leave, and then I was the third one. So by the time I did it, they were like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like they weren't jazzed, but they were like, we know how to do this. And I've had a great relationship with my siblings who are still in. I have 4 siblings, by the way. So that's why I'm.
Oh wow.
There's quite a few of them.
Is that part of Mormonism, like procreating, having a bunch of kids?
I mean, Mormons get married super young, and they're encouraged to have kids. Like that's kind of the point of getting married. So, yeah, Mormons tend to have a lot more kids than the rest of the population.
Is it because they want to like make more Mormons?
Yeah, kind of. Like it's kind of like, hey, it's your duty to like fill the world with Mormons. You can either convert them or you can make them. So like, make some Mormons.
And how successful were you at converting people? Because I mean, out of all the stuff we've talked about, language barrier, cultural barrier, how could you possibly bridge that gap?
So, from an objective standpoint, like how you and I would consider it, probably not great, because as far as I know, no one that I baptized is still in it. That kind of makes sense. Like how, I don't know, like how in it could they really be when they were being taught by an American who doesn't speak great Japanese, right? Mm-hmm. But from a sales perspective, I did super, super well. I was probably about as successful as you could be in Japan. I purposely didn't look up the number of people that I baptized, but it was like 6 or 7, maybe 8 over the course of 2 years, which is, I think that's a lot as far as I know.
So that's one every 8 people, 24 months. That's like one every 3 months.
Something like that.
That's a lot of no's though, man. Like how many people would you talk to in a day?
Oh man. Kind of depends, but like, I mean, it's 99.9% no's, which is constant rejection. But like 8 people over the course of 2 years, like I think a lot. I don't know everyone. Like off the top of my head, I don't know everyone's like success or whatever. But I think that was pretty good for Japan.
Did that make you better at talking to girls? Because I feel like you'd be just like.
I didn't convert any girls. Like,
but I mean, like after you like quit the church and stuff, was it easier for you to be like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, and then when they say no, you're like, "Oh, no big deal." Like I'm used to hearing no. You know?
I mean, I didn't go home and become like a pickup artist. I was like, hey, like you, like,
right.
I went home and I was just myself. But like, for context, I was really good at sales. I don't like sales. So like my job, I don't do any sales stuff.
You were so good at it though. You're a natural.
I know, right? Well, to put it in context, so I talked about there's like a junior companion and a senior companion. That's based on how long you've been there. But then there's like leadership positions. So there's a district leader who's in charge of multiple companionships in a region. So a district leader might be in charge of like 3 or 4 companionships. So like 6 missionaries. And then there's a zone leader. Zone leaders are in charge of multiple district leaders. So you might have 2 or 3 district leaders. So the zone leader is in charge of the district leaders, who's in charge of the regular missionaries.
Mormonism is so organized.
But then there's above the zone leaders, there's the assistants to the mission president. The mission president's like the CEO of the mission. The assistant's like the highest position you can have. You're in charge of all the missionaries. I was an assistant for like 9 months, which is insane. Shit. I spent the last part of the end of my mission was doing that. So,
I just assumed you were like a grunt worker, like
I wasn't a grunt for long, man. I worked my way up that ladder. I was so fucking good at it.
Got closer to God's ear. You had your right hand man after a while.
I was so holy. It was I was just shining.
So the guys that are higher up in that hierarchy, I'm assuming they've been in Japan longer. Are they a lot of Bruces? Are they a lot of deadbeats that are like dedicated their life to Japanese culture?
No, they're just good at you're just good at sales, essentially. It's the simplest way to put it. Or like you're like good at being a missionary.
But 2 years is the longest they would keep you there?
Yeah, after 2 years you go home. Doesn't matter how good or bad you were at it. You're done after 2 years.
Okay.
But like that meant like I was working with the mission president, who was a pretty cool guy. I still like him a lot. I was traveling all around the mission, like training other missionaries. I wasn't doing so much of the normal, like the grunt work. I was doing more fun stuff. I was riding the bullet train to meetings and shit like that.
Oh,
like,
sick.
Oh man.
Did you have to wear your short sleeve button up for that too?
Oh yeah, always. I'm always in uniform, man.
Why do they make y'all look so cheesy? Why not like a dapper suit? Like a nice tailored suit. Why a short sleeve button up?
You in the summer you want to wear a short sleeve button up in Japan, but
That's true.
It happens to every missionary in Japan. You show up to Japan with like a kind of shitty suit that's not fitting super well, and you look around, and after a few months you're like, all these Japanese people are sharp, and I look like a Muppet, like
a white monkey.
And so everyone does it. You go and you get a nice suit in Japan, and you're like a whole different person. So like I still have that suit.
No way.
It doesn't quite fit me. I've gotten a little,
nice,
a little stronger.
You're not on the Mormon rations anymore.
No.
Canned soup or whatever the hell they fed you.
A lot of rice.
Yeah,
it was cheap. Did you
learn how to cook Japanese food over there?
If I'd had a Japanese companion, I would have. You just kind of go to the grocery store and you're like, well, that's like noodles and that's pasta sauce. I can make spaghetti, that kind of thing. But like, so
you gotta be careful though in Japan though. Sometimes you'll get the tomato sauce, but it has sugar. It's like ketchup.
Yeah. I mean, there was plenty of that misunderstanding what you got. But like, yeah, I didn't. Technically, I cooked, but Lord, I did not cook anything good. You're just eating to like survive kind of thing. It's all about the work.
Yeah. Plus, with no free time and no money, what are you supposed to do? When I was over there, I learned how to like fry the fuck out of rice. I could fry some goddamn rice.
I mean, if I had tried, maybe I could have. But like, I was a 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid. I was just fucking around in some sense. Like,
did any of the companions turn to be gay? Like, is that a thing? They like
that happens. I know of one missionary who came home and turned out to be gay. That's very much not uncommon.
Because I mean, if you're just with a guy all day.
Yeah, right? I know, right? It's like, well, it sucks for them because usually, like, they're very much closeted at that point, right? So you're like, I hope for you and all of the viewers and listeners, I'm not saying you need to be, like, super nice to missionaries or anything, but I hope you feel really sorry for them in a lot of ways. Like, you can say no, like, tell them to fuck off if you want. Like, I'm not saying you have to let them into your house, but, like, as you kick them out, be like, oh, like that, like, you can feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Now, they are adults. I'm not saying, like, I was like a 19, 20, 21-year-old. It's like, that's an adult. That is someone who, but quite often the decisions that got them there, like, they're still very childish still.
Yeah.
Like,
they're not thinking for themselves.
They're not fully thinking for themselves. I'm not saying, like, some of them are. So I'm not saying, like, that they're all mindless drones. But some of them are, and it's like, in some ways it can excuse some of the behavior, but at the very least, like, I would never be mean to a missionary. I would, because I'm just like, hey, you're probably struggling a lot. I know I was, like, that's why it's like, are you okay? Do you need some food? Like,
you're kind of making, because I've actually seen Mormon missionaries here riding their bikes. And now I'm kind of wanting to like bring them in my house and be like, yeah, I'll listen to your spiel for 20 minutes and then let's play Mario Kart for like 4 hours. And
which,
you know,
on one hand you'd be doing them a favor, but on the other hand, if they're really intense, they'll be like, no, we don't play. You don't play video games either. No video games.
Is it a sin?
You're supposed to, like, you're not watching movies. You're not playing video
What
games.
if I said I'll convert to Mormonism, but you have to play 4 hours of Mario Kart with me?
That would be a really funny conundrum. I don't know what I'd do.
Ask your bishop.
Ask your bishop, like, I promise, like, if we play Mario Kart, he said he'd join.
Bishop, I was doing it for Jesus.
They'd be like, you are full of it. That guy's not going to join. Do not go into his house. He's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Come play some Mario Kart, missionaries. Like,
I'm just thinking like ways I can like spoil them without breaking the rules. Like give them some Laffy Taffy and some like Coca-Cola or.
Well, that's the hard part. Like, cause like I'm saying like, oh, feel bad for them, but they don't necessarily feel bad for themselves. Mm-hmm. They aren't walking around like, woe is me. In some ways it's harder because they don't, like, I look back and I'm like, I was miserable. It was a terrible time. There's a really funny phenomenon. It's anecdotal, but I think it holds true. Every missionary who's come home, even if they're still Mormon and they love being Mormon, and even if they love their mission, everyone has had a nightmare where in the nightmare, they're who they are now, but they're back on their mission. And it's just like, I've had that nightmare a couple times. It is horrifying because you're like, oh no, oh, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, you feel trapped and you are like, I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, like how horrifying that would be to be like, I am an independent, like, adult, and now I'm stuck in these rules. Like, what do I do? And it's like, it's horrifying. But that's like after the fact. When you're in it, you're like, this is another phrase is the best 2 years. This is like, and to be fair, there's no other 2 years like it. There can't be, because you have no responsibility other than being a missionary. You have all these rules. Everything's decided for you. You just go out and work. And so in some ways, they love it in that context. So
right, it's a simple life.
It's a simple life. So on one hand, feel sorry for them, but there's not really anything you can do for them, because a missionary that would be like, yeah, I need 4 hours of Mario Kart, probably should just go home, because it's not for them. If you're thinking you need a break and you're like not fully in it, then why are you there? Because it's so demanding that you should just go home. And I don't mean that like, just go home, we don't want you, but it's like, yeah, you should go home. You'll be much happier if you go home. I think the stigma, from what I've heard, is going down, like, because a lot of missionaries don't make it. A lot of missionaries go home early.
Really?
It's very common.
What percentage would you say?
I don't know the percentage. And
is it like
Mormon
half,
church,
less than half?
I think it depends on the mission. We didn't have a bunch in mine. And I would have been pretty privy to those numbers because I was in charge of most of them. There were 250 missionaries in the whole mission, which is a lot. Only a handful ever went home. I think that's kind of unique.
I think Japan would be kind of a pussy place to wimp out on. Like,
I know,
I don't
it's
like it. The food's bad, and the
like,
people aren't nice.
Put up with it, man. But like, think about it like this: like, some of them have like mental health issues or like general health issues, and they got to go home. So sometimes that happens, and it's like, what's hard is the stigma's there either way. If you're like, oh, I had to come home from my mission early, people are like, why did they come home? Maybe you got sick and maybe your mom died and you chose to come home. Like, those are very noble, regular reasons to quit, right?
Yeah.
But there's this weird stigma about it. But yeah, that
makes sense.
I'll reiterate. I feel sorry for them because it's a hard situation, but they don't feel sorry for themselves. So it's like, you can't it's sad, but you can't really help them.
Yeah.
There's not really much you can do.
So even if I offered like cake and Mario Kart, they'd be like, no, we're
like, I would have told you no. Even at like my lowest point when I was completely miserable, I'd be like, no, thanks, man. Like, we'll teach you about Jesus. And you'd be like, no. And I'd be like, we'll see you later. Like,
dang.
Yeah. But like now,
so there's nothing you can do.
If I knocked on your door and you're a cake and Mario Kart, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. But then,
yeah, well, now you're a sinner. You're a pagan now.
Pagan playing Mario Kart.
Hey, I gotta pee again. Hold on. Oh God. Yeah, the beer isn't bad, is it? Orion.
I remember seeing this. One thing that's funny is like, I think about it all the time is like Japanese like beer ads, and it's always like some yes every time. And even as a missionary, I was like, I wonder if it's like really good. Like, is it that good though? Like, there's no way it is. But yeah, they have like whatever like famous baseball player, and they take a sip, and they're just. It's like every time, and you're like, is it good? And then I remember the first time I had beer, it was a gross one. I was like, this isn't good at all. Like, those ads are a lie. This is, I believe.
There you go, buddy. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Is this your first Japanese beer?
I think so. Yeah.
Hey,
it is,
pop in your Mormon cherry.
I think it's about time.
There we go.
No, I'm excited to go back to Japan just to. I mean, I'm not going to go like crazy, but it's like, yeah, I'm just going to do normal things there and have a good time. It's a super fun country to visit, and I have fond memories of it, even despite all the weird shit. And
going back with no restrictions, being the Satanist that you are now, like just being a hedonist.
Hail Satan.
it would be, I can't even imagine how much fun you're going to have. Like, I went as a 24-year-old boy, basically. I was a boy, and it was a lot of fun. Like, one of the most fun periods of my whole life. More fun than college. Mm-hmm. But for you, it's like the training wheels are off, and it's like, hey, whatever you want to do. It's an adult playground.
And I'm going to get my Japanese to a more respectable place, but I know it'll come back, and I think that's going to be fun because, I mean, I got pretty good at, like, shooting the shit a little bit with Japanese people. Like, I couldn't have deep conversations about politics or anything, but
they wouldn't want to talk about that.
No. Yeah, exactly. But like, I know what words to say to make them be like, oh my gosh, how do you know that? It's like, because I am Japanese. Like, I just love saying shit like that to them because they're like, what? Like, it's like, it was a joke, man. Like, oh, you're so fun. And I don't mean to demean them, but they're just like, who is the, like, how many white guys show up and are just like, yeah, I know your dialects and everything like that.
That is very impressive. And I think it, for me at least, like, my Japanese is at like probably the level of like a Down syndrome, like 4-year-old, honestly. It's not good, but like it does impress them, and it's something I take for granted.
And like, you have a good, like, I've seen your video. I've watched them, a lot of your Japanese ones. I love it because I'm like, I love what's going on here. Like, in some ways, minus like all the alcohol and stuff, it's like that's some of the dynamics we would try and have with people, where it's like, look, they think we're weird. Let's just say some crazy stuff and have some fun, and they'll love it. And then we can be like, can I have your number so we can come visit you and teach you about Mormonism? And then they just be like, nah. And you'd be like, okay. And then you move on to the next person. But like, in some ways, I know it's crazy, but in some ways that was super fun. You had to have fun any way you could, because you couldn't be like, oh, it was a long day. Let's go to the bar and just hang out. You got no time off, man.
Well, it's still a social interaction. I mean, I guess you would learn to savor those moments of like,
oh yeah,
oh, he's asking me about George Bush. Let's talk about, like, let's take this opportunity. And you'd be surprised. A lot of Japanese people are like very eccentric. Mm-hmm. Like old men will just have this crazy obsession with like rock and roll in the U.S. and then just go off for hours.
It was so much fun. Yeah, like stuff like that. Or like I had a missionary companion who was from Idaho. And whenever he'd say that, they'd be like, oh, yeah, potatoes. Every time. Like, Idaho potatoes. Like, Idaho potato. Like, it's like, oh, my gosh. But I knew it was real when, like, McDonald's had, like, a special. They had, like, the big Texas burger. And then there was the Idaho potato burger. It was like a burger with a hash brown on it. It's like,
wow.
They're like, Idaho is where potatoes are from. Like, yeah, that is, you know your stuff.
Some niche cultural info you got there, Takeshi-san.
And then if you say you're from Salt Lake City or Utah, they're like, oh, like Mormons? Like they know, they would know us. Like
that's crazy.
For the most part, they're like, oh, Mormon-kyo. Like they know.
They have katakana for it.
Oh, yeah.
Mormon-kyo.
That wasn't the official name, just like it was. The official name is Matsujitsu Seito Yes Christo Kyokai, and you'd have to say the whole thing.
No.
We'd say that, and they'd be like, and we're like Moromon Kyo, and they're like, hey, like,
is that the Latter-day Saints thing? Is that directly translated?
Yeah, that's the whole.
Okay, Moromon Kyo.
I think towards the end, I was just like, I'm just gonna say Moromon because they know what that is. Like, who cares?
That's hilarious.
We're always told, like, use the full name.
Moromon.
Yeah,
dude, katakana is so cute. That's adorable.
I had my katakana name. Like I was Kashi Suniku Choro. Choro's like elder. So I shortened it to Kashi because Kashi Suniku is way too long to say. And half the time they'd be like, what? Like, what's your name?
Right.
But like, I have a lot of fond memories of those kinds of interactions. And like that was fun. And then you meet some genuinely cool, not even eccentric, but just like really nice people. Like, especially some of like the members there, they'd like invite you over for dinner and they'd feed you an awesome meal and they would be very like kind to us. And like, it was like just some super incredibly nice people and a lot of really fond memories there. So I know I've talked a lot about like how much it sucked being a missionary. A lot of that is kind of a retroactive view. In the moment, you're just like, I'm out here working. I feel good. Like I'm learning this new stuff. I'm meeting all these interesting
biking people. 9 miles a day.
I'm in super good biking shape. Like, and the cool parts are really unique and cool. I've been asked like, oh, if you could go back and change it, would you? I would, just because like, it's like, if I don't now, it's like, I don't believe in this. There's no way I would do this at all. Like, this is insane. But like, it was still pretty cool. And getting to go to Japan, like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and you said like the dues were like $200 to $400 a month, and then you got like a stipend of $300. So it's kind of like, it is kind of free in a way.
It is.
You get a free ride there. I mean, you have to work your ass off, but.
And full disclosure, my parents just paid for that for me, so that's why I don't know the numbers. Some missionaries pay their own way. I will say, full disclosure, if someone can't pay, the more like they won't say you can't go; they'll pay for you. So it's not a pay to play necessarily, but in effect it kind of is. At the end of the day, you're like, why am I paying to work as a slave for 2 years?
2 years is no joke, bro, especially with no phone. No email once a week. That's crazy.
Nowadays they have their own smartphones and all that, but we didn't. Like, I mean, I found out my grandpa died in an email.
Oh my god.
And
that's
like
devastating.
It is, and it's, yeah, like, so like that was rough.
No warning, no like, oh, he's in the hospital now.
He died kind of suddenly. He was pretty old. It was like a heart attack. Like he wasn't doing great, but it was like, and like he lived in California. I would have been living in Utah. I wouldn't have like been there, but I would have been at like the funeral, like the things you do that you should do when you're grieving for someone. And like, instead, it's kind of silly. I was super upset. It was a P day, so we could do this. But I was like, let's go to like, they have all like the secondhand shops. And I was like, I don't know why, but I was like, I need to buy like something to remember him. So I bought a ring, and it's this ring right here. I've had it since. it was $20, and like, so like you still like carve out space for yourself in some way, right? But it's like it's different when you're a missionary because you're in this really confined little box. But like they're just human like the rest of us. They get sad, shitty things happen to them. They have good moments, and it's like they're just and maybe that's people in general. It's like we're all just, everyone's very human, and we all have this kind of experience. And as weird as the missionaries are, they're just like you and me in some way, just maybe a little different constraints than the rest of us.
Dude, what a crazy experience.
Yeah.
That's like the level of dedication it would take and the level of like buy-in. Like it would be so hard to be like halfway in Mormonism and then be like, oh, I'm going to ship off for 2 years. I'm going to go to, it's like going to fucking Iraq, like, but like more restrictive.
I believe in this, but let's go. There are some missionaries like that. They get there and they're like not so sure about it. But a lot of them kind of like come around because they're like in a group where everyone's like really dedicated. And so some of them like pick up on that enthusiasm. Yeah. And then the idea, I was relatively successful, I guess. I don't really focus on that, but like most, like a lot of missionaries aren't, but I think a lot of the point of it is you're not just converting other people, you're kind of converting yourself. Like the church is building strong members through that. And it kind of creates an inverse outgroup. You spend 2 years being rejected for your beliefs, right? That's one way to interpret it. So you're like, it almost makes you double down more because you're like, I spent 2 years fighting for this and like preaching this and like suffering for this. Like I believe in this.
Wow. You're like, I'm like Jesus.
I am Jesus. I learned, that's what I learned. No. But like, it's like, oh, I get what Jesus went through, or like I've been persecuted because like, like I've been rejected so much. So like I'm fully in. And that's
so meta.
That's a dynamic that happens. So to step away is even bigger because I didn't just leave, and people that leave, they're not just leaving, they're kind of rejecting all of that. Because I'm basically saying, yeah, I don't think the 2 years that I dedicated were done. Like that was an ill-fated cause. Whoa. Like I don't buy into this anymore.
So do you think that's intentional with the Mormons? Do you think they set it up in that way for like you to feel like a real piece of shit if you quit?
I mean, I don't think it's intentional, but it might as well be. Like whatever system that they've built, that's the effect, is like you get a bunch of people that either tap out and can't do it. So, and I guess it's kind of a brutal like a meat grinder, because either you go in and it spits you out and you come home, and people that come home early don't stick around much because they're kind of alienated. They're more likely to leave. Or you come back stronger than ever. You're like, I did the 2 years. I bled for this. I'm all in.
Is that how you felt coming back?
Yeah, I mean, but there's also, you asked originally, like, when was I feeling the most Mormon? It's when you're on your mission. Because then you come back and you're just a regular schmo, and you go to school, and all of this, like, kind of epic stuff you were doing, it's all behind you. And you go on to, like, real life, where you have to worry about, you have to pay for your own apartment. You have to decide how you're going to spend your day. You have to, like, it's all on you now. There's not some like greater purpose other than just like living life. And it's coming back's pretty hard. Also, you were under a bunch of weird rules, and all of a sudden you come back and you're like, all right, now go get married. And you're like, I haven't really talked to girls for 2 years. I haven't like, what? Like missionaries are pretty weird when they come home.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like a war vet, but like more of a virgin. You
just
know,
an ultra virgin war vet. Like,
were your compatriots like jerking off at all? Did you guys talk about that, or did you see your roommate do that ever? Or
thank God I didn't.
Did you jerk him off? Or?
For Jesus, no. As far as I know, I never witnessed that. And
I'm sorry, I know it's a weird question, but I'm just so curious. But Mormonism just captures my imagination, man.
It's so like everyone will be like different levels of dedication. I was so all in, like I wasn't even thinking about that kind of stuff. That wasn't everyone. You hear some people that are like, yeah, I just like knew I needed to do that, so I'd just like jerk off in the bathroom and then just like keep going on being a missionary. That's probably the most emotionally healthy missionary you'd find, who'd be like,
right.
I know there are rules that I'm not supposed to do this, but like I can do what I want and still be a missionary. Kind of like, you know, that's a decent outlook.
I feel like you'd still have a wet dream though. Like 19 years old, not jerking it.
Are you asking me if I have wet dreams?
I'm just bringing it up casually. I'm good.
Well, now you're getting into whole new levels of trauma, because when you're...
Is it a sin to have a wet dream?
No, but like you, to stay after your mission, I guess to be a member in good standing, you have to get like a temple recommend. To get that, you have to answer a certain set of questions, like stuff like, are you paying your tithing? Are you honest in your dealings with other people?
Did you come in your sleep?
Did you come in your sleep? But the question is, are you keeping the law of chastity? That kind of encapsulates the like, don't have sex before you get married thing. And if your answer is no, then the guy you're talking to, who might be the bishop, the guy that you met with, they're going to ask more probing questions. Now, you imagine doing that for like a 19-year-old or a 30-year-old. They're also asking like 12-year-olds those same questions. Oh. So imagine the shame of like a 12-year-old boy. There's so many anecdotes of someone being like, I was 12 years old. I didn't know what masturbation was, but the bishop was asking me if I ever had. And that's how I learned about it. Oh. Not me, but I'm just saying that happens. So like it's very odd to have a 60-year-old man. You're in the room. You're a 12-year-old girl in the room with a 6-year-old man who's asking you if you masturbate.
Oh, wow.
Like, that is a very regular occurrence.
It's like an interrogation, too.
It's kind of like an interrogation.
Like, you're not doing this, are you? And
now,
you're like, I don't know what that is.
A good bishop will kind of either skirt around that, or kind of, you just say, are you keeping the law of chastity? And they just say, no, yes, then that's it. Like, a good bishop will kind of know, like, I'm not going to... But, like, that's a lot to rely on. Like, oh, as long as they behave well. There are lots of stories of bishops who... I mean, there's a lot of sexual assault shit that happens in that scenario.
Really? I mean, I guess that makes sense. Older man, younger kid, nobody's in the room.
Now, that being said, I'm not saying your bishop, like, preyed on... Or not your bishop, the guy you met. Like, I'm not saying he preyed on little kids or anything. But you can see how that could happen very easily in that kind of hierarchy, that structure. Yeah. Like, it's not conducive for... Like, that is a weird thing that's a weird relationship for a 12-year-old to have with a 40 or 50-year-old married man.
That is weird.
You know?
So what do Mormons... I'm sorry, these are weird questions now, but...
We're in the thick of it.
What do Mormons think about wet dreams? Is that like the devil
No,
visiting you in your sleep?
No, it's just like a normal thing. I can remember... all right.
We can cut all this if you want to. It's fine.
Actually, like... I can't remember if I ever felt guilty about that kind of thing, but I do know there was specific stuff, people saying, like, that's not a bad thing if that happens. Like, that's okay.
Right, because you're not in control of it. Like,
no.
I can imagine, like, going to Pornhub and, like, going out of your way to jerk off. But, like, it just happening to you subconsciously, I feel like you can't help that. Like, how would you possibly write that off as, like, sinning?
That wouldn't be considered bad. Like, okay. I'm sure you could find some weirdo... And there's the thing, too. A lot of this is kind of subjective. Like, you could find a bishop that would be like, that's not okay. You probably wouldn't. But, like, it's just... Like, a lot of the best parts of Mormonism depend on, like, did you have, like, good leaders above you, right? So, like, my mission president was a really cool guy. I spent a lot of time with him. He was like a nice person. He was great to work with. Some mission presidents are fucking weird or like super toxic. It's like roulette. The phrase is literally bishop roulette. Sometimes you have a bishop that's cool. Sometimes you have one that's weird or really strict. And that can really define like your relationship with Mormonism. I always had good bishops. I didn't get any weird questions. Like, but some people did, and that fucks them up for life. Yeah. You know? It's just a weird structure. So, damn.
So how often were you going in the room and him being like, do you touch yourself? Is that like once a year or that?
So he was because he was a good mission president, he wasn't asking you that. A weird one would. Like, But he would like if I went to him and said I'm having issues with this, then we would talk about it. But that would be more me signaling it's like I have this problem or I think I have this problem. I want to talk to you about it. That's kind of I would say like the right way to do it in that kind of system. Yeah, the weird ones would be like, hello, 20-year-old male, are you touching yourself? It's like bro, you are 50, you have a wife and kids, like what like
have you been down to Kabukicho and gone to this arcade and played the hentai game? And you're like, wait, what's the address of that?
Like, where? Oh, which is hilarious. Oh man, because think about that. Like, think about a bunch of sexually repressed like missionaries walking into a convenience store in Japan, where there's a whole wall of dirty magazines.
Yeah.
Every time you go in, you're just like, don't look over there.
Right, like peek beneath because they're like taped up.
Yeah,
you're just kind of like peeking between the pages.
We just pretend that wall's not there. I'm just here for like a Black Thunder like chocolate bar or something.
Right.
Love
Black
those.
Thunder. That even sounds like a porno.
I know. As I said it, I was like, wait. Black Thunder. That's. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. They're delicious. They're like it's like a wafer and chocolate. Anyways,
I've never heard of it. Maybe, dude, I feel like I'm excited for you to go back to Japan because it might be really different from what you remember. Like there could be brands that exist now that, like even me, I lived in Osaka 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
And I went back in 2023. And it looked very different. Like they were, demolishing old buildings, and Japan's all about like revitalization and like new stuff. So
they knock their buildings down and rebuild them often, which to their credit, it's like with all the earthquake shit.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go to Kobe. Like when I go back, there's a couple people I kind of keep in touch with. I'll visit some of them. But for the most part, like, I'm not going to go to church. I might visit, like, the places that I spend a lot of time just to, like, see it because, like, I have some fond memories of it. But, yeah, I'm excited to see, like, what's changed, experience what's still the same, and, like, try new things. It's going to be so cool. And I get to go with my wife who's never been.
It's going to be amazing.
I know. I've been gassing it up. I was like, Japan is really cool. Like, we should move there and teach English. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's actually how I pitched it to Sarah before we went for the first time, because she is like a very, she's a team player and she'll go along with whatever. But before we went, I learned this later because she seemed so down at the time. But she was like, I thought you were like weird for liking Japan. I thought you were just into like weird sex stuff and like octopus porn and like.
To be fair, there's a lot of that. I'm so glad I wasn't into any of that. And there's nothing wrong with anime. I want to be really careful, like shitting on people's likes. But there are people that are a little too obsessed with it. So I see where she's coming from. But like,
well, especially white guys that are into Japan. It's a certain demographic.
It's like, why are you so into this?
It's like guys that go to Thailand like twice a year. You're like,
I love Thailand. It's, okay.
The culture? I don't think you're going for the culture and the food. I think you're going for one thing and one thing only.
Yeah. It's like, so credit to Sarah. It's like, she's looking out for herself. She's staying skeptical, which is good.
Yeah.
But like you go there and it's like, what I love is it's way more than that. Yes, unfortunately, it's kind of a big part of their culture, but like there's so many other fun things to do. It is such a cool, it's cool to just see how it all works. Even like getting around is interesting. Like taking the trains, walking, riding a bike. I don't think I ever rode a taxi. That would be kind of fun.
Taxis are cool. The doors open by themselves.
Yeah. Like it's so weird because it's a first world country and everything feels familiar. Like they have buildings, they have cell phones, they have like they sell, like you go into a store and you can buy stuff. Like it's so similar to here, but it's also super foreign. It's like the flip side of something you're super familiar with. And that's a super interesting dynamic to be like everything feels familiar but completely different. It's a really interesting feeling.
It's like, yeah, it's like they have the bars, they have the same type food if you want to find it. But like, for example, Denny's. Did you go to Denny's in Japan?
I was like, we're not going to Denny's, but they had it.
Dude, Denny's in Japan is awesome. It's actually like a nice restaurant.
Okay, well, we'll go to Denny's, but like we went to like McDonald's. I tell everyone like where should I've talked to some people like, we're going to Japan, where should I go? I was like, go to McDonald's. Like it will blow your mind. You'll never go to an American McDonald's again because you're like, this is like nice. Like everything's nice. Burger King over there was amazing.
They don't mess up the orders.
It was so good.
The ice cream machine always works.
It always works. They have the KFC on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I won't get to do that. I'll be in November, but like that's a thing to do. Go wait in line and get the chicken on Christmas.
Yeah, it's so quirky. Like I was saying before, like, yeah, they have everything we have, but it's just like opposite side of the world type situation. Also, they were, I think it was the Himeji, I could be totally wrong.
Himeji Castle?
Era? No, it was an era of Japan. Like, Edo era. I can't remember, but they were like isolated for hundreds of years.
Oh, yeah.
And then they opened up, and then they're like inviting all this Western influence. And then obviously with World War II and us like rewriting their constitution and shaping their culture, it's like this odd like stepchild of America that like was adopted and moved to Japan. You know what I mean? Like it has everything we have, but it's just so different.
It's so different, and like it's kind of this thing where it's like, oh yeah, we influenced them, but they just assimilated all the stuff we gave them, and they're like, oh, and this is ours now. Like we have 7-Elevens, and they're better than your 7-Elevens. It's like, fuck, it is like
way better.
Like, it could be like this all the time. But then you get to the point where it's like you get there and you're like, this is amazing. But then like you pull back the sheets and it's like, oh, like they're all like offing themselves at really high rates. Like, why is that? It's like, because it's this really kind of repressive society. And I'm not saying they're worse or better than us, but it's like you definitely learn quickly. It's like, oh, Japan's not better. It's just different. And they have their own set of problems, and they're really unique problems. And I don't know. So yeah, that's why when someone's like super obsessed with Japan, it's like, I don't think you fully grasp what you're obsessed with. Like, yeah. And I'm not saying you have to live there for 2 years to get it, but that's one thing I took away, which is like, I don't want to live here. Like, I'll visit and that'll be fun, but like, I can't. I became a lot more patriotic in Japan.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. So did I.
I was like,
so did I.
The best moment was they had a Costco in Kobe, and I went to Costco. It was like a pilgrimage. And you walk in, and it was, have you been to Costco in Japan?
No.
It's insane because they have a lot of Japanese products, like, you know, like the little pancake sandwich things. I don't even know.
Yes.
Yeah, those. They have those. But then
with the bean paste in the middle?
Yeah, yeah. But then they have Costco rolls, like ones you'd see in America. I remember walking, I was like, oh my gosh, like croissants and like rolls and pistachios and like all these things. And I bought a giant, there's a picture of me. I should have found it. There's a picture of me smiling, holding a thing of rolls and like some pistachios.
Wow.
Like, I was like, these are just like the ones in America. Like it was so, it was a great moment. I was like, I love this country. I love America.
I love consumerism.
I love, like, look at this big bag of bread.
Yeah, it's gonna go bad in 3 days. I love this bag.
I ate every single one of those rolls. I was like, I'm in heaven. But it really felt like a pilgrimage, and showing up there and like seeing all the Japanese people like with their big Costco carts. I was like, you guys don't even know what you're doing. This is so cool. Like, welcome to my country. Like, this is the. I will say Costco is probably the best form of American like retail grocery stuff.
I tell anyone who's visiting America to go to Costco.
Go to Costco.
It is the most American experience you can have outside of like a Buc-ee's or a Walmart. I think it's more patriotic or more American than Walmart.
Well, Walmart is like kind of there are great things about Walmart, but there's some pretty fucked up things about Walmart. Not saying Costco's perfect, but to me it's kind of the ideal version.
And it's like a warehouse. Like the aisles aren't even marked. It's just like, here,
like,
go try to find the fucking hamburgers in there.
Like, what do I want? It's like whatever Costco tells me I want. Like, and I want 10 pounds of it. I still love going to Costco. Sometimes, like, I've gone recently and I've been like, I didn't really buy much, but it's just nice being there. I don't know. I have a weird... It's just like, it reminds me of home. It's like, I am home, but it's like Costco.
It's like this PTSD. Like you go in Costco and you think you're in Japan again, but you're like, I'm safe here. I can't leave.
That was such a funny trip because a member, it was hard to get to because like we only had bikes, and a member was like, hey, I'm going to go to Costco. You can hop, I'll drive you there. Because it was too far to bike. It was like in this really hilly area.
And they don't make them in like public transit friendly areas either.
No.
They're like in warehouse districts.
So it's very rare you get to go. So he drove us there, and he's like, I love taking missionaries to Costco because they're so excited. And that was me. Yeah.
That's wild. I never got to go to Costco in Japan. I really would like to. I want to take my Costco card and maybe go on this next trip and just see what it's all about.
Work. And it's the same process. I think they even had like hot dogs and everything.
For $1.50?
Yeah. And then like they didn't, like the chicken bakes?
Yeah.
They didn't have chicken. It was bulgogi beef bakes. Ooh. They were delicious. They
really?
were amazing. I was like, this is so good. This is better than America. Like, this is more American than the American Costco.
Right, because it's the Japanese adaptation. It's like you said with the beer and the whiskey. They've like improved it.
Yeah. They were like, this chicken bake is not that good. I don't love the chicken bake at Costco. But the bulgogi beef bake.
That's brilliant, actually. Damn, I want to go to Costco in Japan now.
You got to go. And imagine too, you haven't been to America in like a year and a half, and you walk up to a Costco, and it's like I never left. Like the carts are American sized, all the signage is the same, just in English and Japanese or whatever.
Are people buying in bulk like they do at Costco? Are they buying like $500 worth of shit?
I mean, not as much as the Americans, because like, but like the Japanese version of bulk, like they're buying lots more stuff than they would normally.
Wow, this makes me want to go to Costco.
You got to go.
I like what you said about you feeling more patriotic, though. I felt the exact same way. And it kind of made me feel like a brain dead, like, right wing. I don't know. It just made me feel kind of like ashamed of like, oh, well, I shouldn't feel this way because I'm in Japan. And like everyone says when you travel, you get more open minded. But actually, like after, because everyone kind of starts with Europe and stuff when they travel.
Yeah.
I feel like after that, after you're like, oh my God, we should have public transit. Oh my God, we should have healthcare. After you get through that phase, you realize like pretty much everything else that America offers is like the greatest.
Yeah.
Outside of those issues. But like, it just makes me feel more proud to be American,
or at least, you're free, that kind of thing. Right?
Exactly.
Allegedly. But yeah, that was definitely my experience. Of course, now that I'm here, I look back and I'm like, the bullet train's pretty fucking sweet. And just the public transit over there is amazing. And like, housing isn't super expensive, and their healthcare system isn't great, but it's not as fucked up as ours. Like, so obviously, like, there's balance to it. But I mean, you miss your home. Like, I love Japan, and I'm visiting is great, but it's like I said, towards the end, I was like, oh, I don't really belong here. Like, when it was time to go, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go home. Like, I'm done. I'm ready to go home. And I'm not saying America is perfect, but when like home here, it's like, yeah, like this, like I understand this place better than I understand Japan.
Yes. At least you know what you're getting. It's not like a mystery where you're like trying to, especially with all the paperwork and bureaucracy in Japan, like
so much bureaucracy. I got hit by a car while I was there. What? We were on bikes, like, it's gonna happen. It was
Were you wearing your helmet?
I was wearing my helmet.
Okay.
I think I still have the helmet at like my parents' house.
Oh my God. You should have brought it, man.
I know. All like my relics are in Utah at my parents' home. But I got hit by a car. I like bounced off the windshield. I was fine, like
oh my God.
But then like an ambulance showed up, and they're like, get in the ambulance. I was like, no, I'm good. And they're like they kind of just like shuffled me in.
You're like, I can't afford this.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, should I be doing this? I got in the ambulance, and I was a little like beat up because I'd been hit by a car, but I swear to you, they went to close the doors, and they're like, oh, he doesn't quite fit. You need to take your shoes off so we can close the doors. Because like I was too long for the ambulance. I'm not going to say that's what it was. Maybe like in the ambulance you take your shoes off because,
sanitary.
But like, then they had like it was like a flip book. It was laminated pages, and they're like, point to where it hurts. Like on, and
in English, they had the translation.
And then they're like, point to how much pain from 0 to 10. And like I did all of that. I was fine. Like they gave me some like drugs or whatever. But yeah, there was a lot of paperwork associated with that.
Yeah, but also, I mean, you gotta give it up to them for being that prepared for
foreign. Like they're like, oh, just in case we pick up an American who can't speak or someone who can't speak Japanese.
No, that's brilliant.
Oh yeah, and that was my takeaway. I was like, oh, this is very impressive. Like they were ready for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's funny because when I moved to Japan, I felt a lot more nationalistic in some ways, and then which kind of pushing me to the right politically, and then also I got pushed to the left too because it's like, yeah, we should have. All the signs in public should be in multiple languages. Like, why are they not? Like, that's just, why not make it more accessible for more people?
It's so easy to get around. And to be fair, I mean, I can't read all the signs because, like region, like, it's like, oh, here's the characters for this region. Like, and the readings for it is like abnormal. Like, so a normal person wouldn't be able to tell what that says, but they put it in English or like the Romaji or English for you. And you're like, oh yeah, I can get around. Like when people are going to Japan, they're like, oh, is it hard to get around? It's like, not at all. It's so easy. You can just use Google Maps. You can just you don't have to look up characters. It's all like, they've made it super easy for everyone to get around.
Yeah. It's like, why not?
Yeah. It's, it's very fun to go there. I'm so stoked. Do you have any suggestions for what I should do especially as someone who hasn't appreciated the full breadth of Japanese culture?
I mean, honestly, I would go to Osaka and just kind of follow your nose. Like, go to Osaka Loop Line, like on the JR line, and just kind of get off at a random station. Tsudahashi's great for drinking. Kyobashi's really nice for like dirty, grungy
I've
drinking.
been to Kyobashi.
Really?
Yeah, I lived in Osaka for a little bit.
Where in Osaka?
I guess it was like Sendichuo. I'm not exactly sure where that is at that point or at this point. I guess more than like living there, like because I traveled around a lot, I went to some of those main places. So like Namba, I spent a bit of time there.
Namba's great for drinking. Fantastic.
And that's what it was known as. It's like, oh yeah, this is the place where people are crazy. Like Japanese crazy. You're going like, this is the cleanest place I've ever seen. And they're like, oh, it's super shady here. It's like, no, it's fucking not. Like, this is not shady. I mean, a lot of missionaries got their bikes stolen. I don't know who's stealing all the bikes in Japan.
It's the Chinese.
It's the Yakuza or the Chinese. Yeah, okay, Kyobashi.
I mean, it's not like, I don't know if I would recommend you bringing your wife to Kyobashi necessarily, but
yeah.
Tsudahashi is cool. It's like the Korean neighborhood. It's very grungy. I like Tsudahashi. Just anywhere on the loop line, I would just get off. But Osaka. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know.
A little bit, yeah.
They're also, oh my God, I'll give you this good recommendation for this kind of unknown area in Namba. It's like 2 tiny little alleys with standing room only bars. It's like Golden Guy, but like a way smaller area, and but it's right off the tourist area.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, send that my way.
Yeah, I got a pin. I can send it to you. Yeah, but that's pretty much my only recommendation to Osaka is just like drink your body weight in alcohol.
We're gonna go to a Nomi Hodai and all you can drink. I've always wanted to.
You got to go to the Kushikatsu one where all you can eat, all you can drink.
Yes, those. I mean, obviously, we went to lots of Tabe Hodais, the all you can eats, but like obviously missionaries aren't drinking. We're not going to spend much time in Tokyo because I've done that. I've visited and like spent a few days, and I was like, I'd rather spend time in Kobe and Osaka, or even like Okayama or Hiroshima. Like those places are way more interesting to me.
Yeah.
So we're going to spend a few days in Osaka, and then a little bit in Hiroshima and all that stuff.
It's going to be weird going back, man. Like I went back a few months ago with Sarah and my mom, and it was
cool.
Weird being back because like I was immediately transported to this time of my life when I like had nothing. I had nobody. I was just kind of alone and broke and had no prospects, and this is all I was doing.
Yeah.
Much like yourself. I mean, not to like throw you under the bus, but like just that's all you got going on.
Yeah.
And just being back with like these very important women in my life,
people.
Yeah, it was weird, man. Like because nothing had really, I mean, stuff had changed, but the major stuff was still there, and like my apartment's right here, and I used to live here, and it was just weird, man. It was like I was in like a time warp, like Twilight Zone. It was very bizarre.
I think that's going to happen. Like I said, I went back and visited when I was still an active Mormon, and there was a little bit of that, but I think it's going to feel even weirder now. I haven't been back in like 5 or 6 years or something. So
yeah, it's gonna be totally different. But look, I mean, you're gonna have a great time, man.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, sweet. Well, thanks for coming on, man. I feel like I've taken enough of your time.
Oh, this has been awesome. I hope this is what the people wanted. I don't know. It's all my experience. So like I don't know.
No, I feel like you're very diplomatic with it. You didn't like throw Mormonism under the bus in general. It's just kind of your experience, and that's all you can speak for. So.
And honestly, I find myself probably defending Mormons more often than I criticize them. More to be like, oh, like, yeah, they're weird, but they're not bad people. Or like, oh, that's a myth. My favorite one is like, oh, Mormons can't drink caffeine. It's like, no, they can. But we're not going to get it. We're in the end. We shouldn't. So let's talk about why they can't drink alcohol and coffee. And you probably had enough of that. And they're much better podcasts to cover that than.
No. I kind of want to hear about it, actually.
I mean.
Because I thought, actually, I had a list of a couple things. Don't click away. Hey, I see. No. We're still going. All right.
Let's get to
I had a few.
I don't want to leave any rock unturned.
Okay, the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel. Do you know about this?
Yes. Wait, where are they based again?
He lives in Alaska.
Yes.
He does camping videos with his family. He's Mormon.
Yes, that guy. And he like quit.
Yes.
Yeah. So wait, what about him? I know a little bit.
I don't think they drink caffeine. I've only seen, like, when he indulges, he's eating like candy and marshmallows and.
That's Mormons, man. Like,
why don't they drink like Coca-Cola or tea? He only drinks herbal tea.
Yeah. Long story short, way back in the day, the original rule, as dictated by Joseph Smith, said, like, you don't drink alcohol and you don't have hot drinks. That was the phrase. Now, hot drinks in the 1830s or whatever meant something very specific. That was tea and coffee, as far as I know. I'm sure if I'm wrong, someone will say so in the comments. But that's what that meant. Hot drinks now doesn't, like, that was a common phrase. That doesn't mean anything now. Like, so it's like, oh, Mormons can't drink hot chocolate. Yes, they can, even though that's a hot drink technically. But over time, people tried to kind of come up with explanations. They're like, oh, well, why can't we drink coffee and tea? It's like, well, there's caffeine in it. And so while there was never a direct rule against caffeine, it kind of like culturally it became like, oh, yeah, caffeine is bad. That's why. Because caffeine's addictive, and Mormons try and avoid addictive things. It doesn't help that for the longest time, BYU was like, we don't serve caffeine drinks on campus. No one wants them, which is total BS. The college students want the caffeine.
Of course. So did you drink it as a Mormon?
I didn't drink a ton of soda, but like I would have a Coca-Cola or a Dr. Pepper. Like there was never any problem with that. I have a lot of caffeine now. But as a Mormon, there were definitely people, and a lot of Japanese people would be like, oh yeah, caffeine's bad, right? And be like, no.
See, I thought that too, because I had a Mormon boss in college, and he's like, no, we don't drink caffeine. Mormons don't drink caffeine.
It's nowadays, that's definitely not the case. I think maybe more in the early 2000s, 90s, 80s, that was more of a thing. Like, oh yeah, that's why we don't drink caffeine. But Mormons can drink caffeine.
They're such a misunderstood people, aren't they?
They are, and sometimes deservedly, sometimes but also that's why I find myself defending them in some ways, because someone's like, oh yeah, Mormons can't have caffeine. I was like, they absolutely can.
Yeah.
I had one person be like, well, what do you know? It's like, what do you mean, what do I know?
Yeah, I've been Mormon for 27 years. What are you talking about?
It's like, well, my friend's like, your friend is wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You'll still find Mormons that are like, oh, I choose not to, because they want to avoid habit forming substances, which is funny because to that Outdoor
Boys.
I almost said Voices. It's like, that's a brand. Outdoor Boys. He has a ton of candy. They're probably just as addicted to sugar as like anything else. But that's kind of the only drug the Mormons get.
It's so obvious to me, because it's like after a long day of hiking, it's like, yeah, you want to crack open a beer or like smoke a cigar, but he's like, oh no, let's just have like 80 grams of sugar, to go to sleep. It's like so clearly an addiction.
What are you doing? Well, when I first started drinking, I'd go for like the sweetest drinks. I was like, we showed up at a bar once, and there's this drink called Hot Girl Summer, and it had like It had like Sour Patch watermelon sticking out of it. I was like, that looks awesome. And I loved it. Now I am much more sophisticated. I would still have it maybe, but I wouldn't enjoy it as much as like an old fashioned or something.
That's funny. So you're like 28 years old ordering like a hot girl summer.
And to be fair, I think that's a perfectly legitimate thing for a 28-year-old male to do. It's like, hey, if that's what you want, the manliest thing to drink is the drink you want to drink.
That's true.
Even if it's hot girl summer.
It takes courage.
It takes courage.
Drink that Cosmo.
Yeah, exactly.
Slay.
My palate is a little different now, even though it's
What are you drinking now?
Well, as I say that, I love, for whatever reason, Aperol Spritz is like, I can't get enough of it. I went to Italy at one point. I was like, drinking this in Italy makes sense. And I came home and it's like, I'm just not going to stop drinking these.
Right. And then someone's like, why are you drinking that? And you're like, I'm glad you asked. Like, I went to Italy.
I'm sophisticated.
Have you heard of Naples?
I was going to speak some Italian, but I realized when I went to Italy, I purposely was like, I'm only speaking English.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily recommended. But
when I went to Italy, I only spoke Spanish. And they kind of understood.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I get what he's saying.
Yeah, like, all right, I get the gist. This dumbass American.
Look, I'm a tourist. I'll do my, I will be polite, but I'll say grazie or whatever. But
yeah,
I'll speak English when I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Aperol Spritz. I like old fashions. I don't drink a ton of beer. It's kind of grown on me a bit. That's more like, to me, it's kind of soapy. But
I guess you've only been drinking alcohol for like 4 years.
Yeah. I love.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's been fun kind of discovering all of it. Like,
so you started drinking, dude. My first drink, I was like 14, bro. Like, and I'm not saying that's a good thing, by the way. Like, that was a mistake for sure, but I've had way more experience with it.
But you also have experience with like shitty alcohol too. Like, I was old enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna buy the nice stuff and make myself a nice cocktail. So like, that's what I do. I don't like.
You're more in control of it.
A lot more controlled, a little more, like sophisticated, like.
Yeah.
And I say that kind of jokingly. I'm not better than anyone else, but it's like, it's
if I didn't drink till I was 28, I would definitely feel better than other people.
Yeah, like I've never mixed Gatorade and vodka, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Never had like hunch punch out of a bathtub at a fraternity.
I'd try it now just to say I have, but like I wouldn't.
Are there fraternities at BYU?
No, there's no Greek life, anything. There's no drinking.
Is everyone Mormon?
99% of the people are Mormon. There are people that aren't Mormon that are there. Like, you have to live by the rules, to the point where I'm like, why are you here? Like, even as when I was like a believing Mormon, I was like, why would you come here if you aren't Mormon? Like, happy you're here. Like, not saying you can't be here, but it's like, this kind of sucks if you're not bought in, because you're not drinking, can't even have coffee. You can't, like, no sex at all. Like, and also, like, there's a group that like monitors your activity. So I know one guy, he was on, it's called like the honor roll, like, who are they? There's a whole like division. They like in charge of making sure students are like keeping the rules.
Dude, it sounds like Hogwarts.
It is like Hogwarts.
So much control.
There was this one guy, he was on their radar because he was kind of gay, or like they're like, he seems gay. He was, but like, and that's fine. But like, he got in trouble because in the summer he went home and he dyed his hair blue, and you're not supposed to have extreme hairstyles. So he came home and they're like, we saw your Instagram post. Like, you can't have hair like that.
They're spying on people.
They're like spying on people. Like,
but he wasn't even at school.
He wasn't at school. He was at home. When he came back, his hair was normal. But like, for some reason, he was on their radar and they were like monitoring him. And that's a totally normal thing.
Yeah, we lost the mics. Oops. Sorry, guys.
Yapping.
We're talking about what again?
Oh, I was saying a lot of...
Islams and gays going to BYU.
Not so many gays, more Muslims going. That, like, not a lot, but like, it wasn't unheard of. And I think they feel a little more at home at BYU because the rules aren't the same, but there are a lot of similarities.
Oh, to Islam? Where do I drink?
Yeah.
Is that my cup?
That one's mine. I think that one's yours.
That's to me. Thanks.
They're, in a lot of ways, they're quite different. In other ways, they're kind of similar. I think Mormons kind of count themselves more similar to some of those Abrahamic religions. So
yeah,
Mormons would feel a lot of kinship, or would say they feel a lot of kinship with Muslims or Jews or that kind of thing. Because as we talked about, Mormonism is very much the belief of like, oh, whatever was going on in Old Testament, New Testament stuff is still happening today. Like it hasn't changed. Like we're still doing that kind of shit.
Damn, that's crazy. So do Mormons think that like miracles are still happening and God is like still very active in the world type thing?
Oh yeah, like that's the whole thing. And like a lot of being a good active Mormon is the more like righteous and dedicated you are, the more you'll be able to see that kind of stuff in your life.
So the more you tithe.
Yeah, the more. Well, no, like you don't get bonus points for tithing extra. You know that would be vain. But like, the more you study, the more humble you are, the more dedicated you are, the more you'll see that kind of stuff. And like, missions are a great kind of, I don't know, like a little sandbox for that, where it's like you're hyper dedicated and you're super involved in like searching for people to convert them. So like you feel it more than ever that like, oh, God is with me here. Like
whoa.
Yeah. So, and that's another reason why it's so unique, because you're so focused on building the church that like you feel a lot more spiritual.
Whoa. It kind of makes me want to be Mormon, because I feel like you have like this righteous kind of goal at all times.
Oh, it's a kick-ass purpose. You're like, I'm here to like convert people, and like we're gonna, like, if we do this right, like we get to live forever after we die with our friends and our family and with God. And it's like, it's everything.
Whoa. Oh, they're home.
Hello.
We'll wrap up. Hold on. Just give us a second.
How dare you intrude.
All right. I think that's a good time to end.
Any other questions before we want to make sure your viewers are satisfied?
No. I think that's it. I think we covered everything. I think.
Are you going to become a Mormon podcast now? There's a whole thing there. I don't know if that's the
exposing. I'm just really I'm really surprised that, because I don't know. I think Mormons just are so misunderstood about like the excommunication, the drinking the caffeine.
And we didn't even get into excommunication. Someone like me wouldn't be excommunicated because I basically just quit. Like, you get excommunicated if you like actively like go against what the leadership is saying.
Yeah.
And you have to be kind of a prominent person. They wouldn't just excommunicate a regular person, generally speaking.
Okay.
But like that's a whole thing, and it's pretty weird and fucked up to be like kicking someone out of their community, you know. But so I guess to sum it all up, feel sorry for missionaries. You can't help them. They're kind of just, they're in their thing, but they're just regular people in a kind of weird situation. Mormons on the whole are really decent, and they're in this really, when it's really good, it's really good, but then there are kind of some weird dark sides to it, like we kind of talked about, excommunicated, or like it's not really good for people who are like really kind of OCD or like really intense, because like, you're always like, can I do more? How can I be more righteous? You can see how that can kind of fuck you up.
That's crazy, man.
But
it got you to Japan.
Got me to Japan, and I got out in time to like, now I have an awesome life, and I'm really happy, and I can put it all behind me, and I still have time to, you know, go to Japan and get blackout drunk.
There you go. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Well, thanks for coming on, man. This was super fun.
Glad I could chat with you.
Beautiful.